if we banned trans healthcare, but society moved in a way that was more more caring and more accepting of trans people, we would probably see a a, a pretty steep decline in the suicide rate of trans people still.
Now, this is a claim that is literally contradictory. How do you have a society that is accepting and caring about trans people and bans trans healthcare at the same time? What is this TERF argument? Are you a TERF secretly? So we are going into a new segment now. The segment is gonna be his review of the debate, I suppose, right? Let's go. Let's go.
Science, Jangles, science, Jangles lad, Jangles, okay? Jangles is like probably the most ardent defender of trans women in sports, and even he says, still gotta have some form of like HRT going on. All right, men and women are really close athletically. Okay, if I look up powerlifting,
why powerlifting?
record.
I will just remind you, now he's going for the powerlifting, and just seconds ago he said every sport. He said almost every sport. You know, he said almost every sport.
Men and women.
Powerlifting. As if that was the only sport in existence. There are so many sports.
Okay.
And interesting enough, he
Powerlifting,
chooses...
We'll do 100-meter dash. .58 seconds versus 10.49 seconds. About a second difference.
Do I even have to mention that women were banned from running in events against men because the article claimed that women, when running against men, get quote-unquote artificially faster? Like, do we really need to go through all that stuff that Conure went for us through? Like, Conure did a really good video about the whole segregation of sports thing, how women basically started winning against men and got segregated because of it.
But I need to know what... Okay, all-time top 25 men.
Like, Sondsol really
under
does not
10
know what he's talking about.
And all the women
Genuinely.
are above 10 seconds. No woman has beaten the 10-second barrier. So, if we were to say that no one needs to take any HRT before going into sports, guess what? No cis woman would ever...
This is embarrassing.
Ever.
This is embarrassing if this is how Sondsol conducts his quote-unquote investigation of things. This is embarrassing. Ever. Jesus.
Win. I said close. This isn't close. 9.58 versus 9.63, that's close. In regards to sprint, 100-meter dash, that's close. 9.58, 9.
Yeah, I'll be honest. All of Conure's videos took me by surprise. I didn't know any of that. Yeah, Conure is a really good creator. Like, if we are going to go for the pain of watching like this clown, we might as well try to promote some good creators, right? We've done it. We have tweeted about this. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Now back to the regular programming.
close. 9.58 and 10.49, that's not close. The top 25 doesn't even get to 10 seconds. No cis woman would ever win a medal ever again
Ever again, of course.
if we desegregated sports.
Of course. This is
Never.
ridiculous.
It would never happen. At least in track and field. But maybe you're right. Let's look at the powerlifting.
Like, this is really ridiculous.
Go all the way.
Especially since there are different when it comes to running, there are different distances, and that's a whole different thing for different distances. Like, he has no clue about what he's talking about. For real.
Okay, I don't even know how to read this. I don't even know how to read this. 1 second.
Well, why am I not surprised? Like, he's just
there another Wikipedia
so
article?
confidently
Wikipedia was so
talking
easy to read.
about things he has no clue about, so shamelessly as well. This is not how you conduct those things. This is not how you check those things. You're being ridiculous.
Okay, Andre, however the fuck you say that name. Wait, does this have both men and women? Okay. Let's just look at this one. Squat men
Pathetic.
6'3", 9.3. Women. Actually, this one might. The top
This is
100
a
men's are all under 10 seconds too.
waste
Holy shit.
of time.
The number one is literally half. The number one squat all time is half of what the men's were on squats. But maybe that's just men have very strong legs. Bench full power, 391. Okay, let's go to women. 214. This isn't to say that women are just worse and bad and they should never touch sports ever. It's that men have an advantage biologically when it comes to like their testosterone levels, and we should accommodate different groups of people so that they can all participate in sports.
Also,
at a
what
level that
about
they're competitive at?
Also, what about cis women with high levels of testosterone? What about them, Sondsol? While we're talking about it, like, you should not touch topics that you have no clue about. And this is a thing that you yourself have complained about in this video. That you do not like it when people do not put work into their videos, and that you do not like it when people speak about things they have no clue about. Both of the things that you have done on this stream.
Because it is. Wait, hold on.
Stop.
But again, Vigilante, you said not all segregation was bad. Not all discrimination is bad.
You have no clue what the word discrimination
No,
means. Like, you have no idea what the word discrimination means, and this is like embarrassing.
Like colloquially would be called that, but the actual term, like, yeah, it is segregated by sex. It's literally the definition of segregation, Casaubon. Okay, never mind.
Some of the evidence included they were bringing grave digging machinery. They were bringing like machinery for
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Did we miss something? Wait.
like,
All right, let's listen to this. Let's hear what everybody's got to say here.
the sign of whether or not it was intentionally targeted at one particular group. You know, like people in Russia were starving, people in Kazakhstan were starving, and there's like, so you get into like a really murky territory. And if you look at the cases of the Srebrenica massacre in Bosnia, the way that was determined to be a genocide, there's all kinds of like thresholds that had to be met. They had to show like, some of the evidence included they were bringing grave digging machinery. They were bringing like machinery for
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear what Demon Mama has to say. We're
Okay,
speeding
it's
her
gonna
up.
depend on the parameters of the discussion, but I don't really care all that much about whether or not it meets the definition, the UN definition
True.
of genocide. The UN definition of genocide is obviously incredibly stringent because the UN is attempting to determine, but in conflicts between multiple nations, which nation has violated international law. So I don't think that's what most people are talking about or care about.
Why? What is
Sondsol is not very smart. Please keep this in mind when watching this debate.
genocide mean to you? Was the term genocide not coined? Wait, hold on. When was genocide?
Oh, another topic that you have no clue about. Incredible. Incredible. You know? Another thing that he has no clue about. Was this not the thing that you were complaining about? Like just moments ago?
Etymology.
Embarrassing.
It was the word genocide was coined in 1944.
So
We're
you,
talking about whether or not we are in the midst of a trans genocide.
You know this game though. It's called evolving language to serve ideological interest. Yeah, people fucking do that shit all the time. Yeah.
Most of the time, what people are talking about when they're referring to a trans genocide is that there is a process of continued legal, social, and physical marginalization that is actively attempting to force trans people out of public life, to damage their health, and to restrict their access to needed supplies, whether that's medicine, food,
Yeah.
jobs, or whatever. That's usually what people
That's
are talking about when
correct.
talking about a genocide, not whether or not whether or not it represents a UN legal definition of a genocide. But it might even. Let's take a look.
It won't. Should watch her fucking
take a look.
twist this shit so hard because I've read
Here
the
we go.
genocide.
oh yeah. Sondsol is the arbiter of what is and what isn't genocide. She's gonna twist it so hard. She's gonna, oh yeah, Sondsol.
.org. The crime
The
of
limits
genocide.
for genocide.
Let's take a look. Definition. In the present convention, genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, such as killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on a group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. Okay, listen, guys, let me just talk about something real quick before we get into this any further, because this is a topic I'm pretty fucking serious about. Right here, this is on the law books in a lot of states. Many states in the United States still require that you get sterilized, that you have a sterilizing surgery in order to change your public-facing documents. AKA, you either leave yourself open to discrimination, explicit discrimination, obvious discrimination by having an ID, by having all of your paperwork not matching
Yeah.
you.
I am blown the fuck away. Holy shit.
I
Can
know.
turn the
It's
quality
easy to
up on this
blow
so I can
you.
read it?
It's easy to blow
I'm
you
not gonna be able to
away.
read it like this. 1 second.
Like it's
This is
pretty
insane.
easy to blow you away.
Oh my god, it's actually too small to read. A physical element which includes the following acts enumerated exhaustively: killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately
Yeah.
inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. Keep in mind. Where is it?
You're not gonna
The
respond
intent to destroy in whole or in part a national,
Yeah.
ethnical, racial, or religious group.
Oh, it does
Oh yeah,
not.
Annabelle, exactly.
Oh, it does not list gender.
None of these
Oh.
trans people, unless there's some trans fucking ethno state out there, I don't think it's either a nationality or an ethnicity. I mean, like, you might try to call wokeness or like trans ideology some sort of religion, but I feel like it falls short of that definition.
You're
and
an
what was the other one?
idiot. Like, this is what you. This is exactly what Demon Mama meant when she said legal brain, by the way. This is exactly what she meant. This is what it means for a person to be legal brained. Quite literally. This is ridiculous. Oh, gender is not on the list, therefore, masculine of those people does not count. Sorry. This is pathetic. Sorry,
National
Sondsol, you're being pathetic.
ethnic, or racial. Yeah, and they're not a fucking race, so
You are.
Oh, got him.
That it alone, just that fact, the fact
Got
there are
him.
numerous American states that have on the law books a requirement for sterilization fits this right here. Okay.
can you give us an
Forcibly
example?
transferring children of the group to another group. This is another one that is currently in attempt. Thankfully, this is not a legal clear area. AKA, despite the fact that people constantly try
Despite-
to have trans people's children taken away, they don't always succeed. But they
Got
try.
him.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me.
Sondsol is such a ridiculous figure.
In the state.
One of the saddest
Also,
orbiters
yes,
of
if they were-
Steven.
if they were like, if there was some law passed that showed that they were trying to take away like children who were like receiving trans healthcare from their parents, like yeah, of course, at that point, yeah, we're now in genocide territory, or not even genocide territory. Like
Oh, not
self-defense
in,
to
still not
protect their
yet.
Children from the state.
Oh, that would still not be enough for you. Okay, okay. Still, that would be not enough, huh? So killing them can never be genocide. Where are all the video essayists with their Sondsol is not your ally videos? They could actually show clips, lol. I mean, they're too busy being enamored with Zanderhar. Like, this is such a ridiculous argument. Oh, the gender is not on the list,
One second,
therefore
guys.
it doesn't count. Sondsol is such a pathetic figure. Also, this is totally not a waste of time. Sondsol puts effort into his videos, therefore this totally could not have been edited out of the video. Definitely not. We really need this muted music thing when he talks with someone. Yeah, we really need this in the video. Oh yeah, this is effort. This is like, and he's gonna complain that other people do not put enough effort into making their videos good when he cannot even be bothered to edit his videos correctly. Oh yeah, this is good effort. This is like quality. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, this fragment is really necessary in the video.
All right, back.
Now, this has
Congratulations.
changed since, but when I was getting my name changed, it was required that I show proof of medical treatment. Now, thankfully, my doctor was willing to sign off on me having gotten medical treatment. The requirement is technically supposed to be for surgery,
Hola.
but my
Muy
endocrinologist
bien.
basically worded the letter vaguely enough that he never actually said that I got surgery, but he said that his medical opinion was approved, and that allowed me to change my name. Now, this law has since changed, but that's literally
Wait,
that's
if the
on-
law changed, then why are you complaining about it being a current genocide? Does that make any fucking sense to anybody?
Yes, because she's not calling it a genocide based on that single law. Are you being serious or are you just being not very smart? I will let the audience decide that one, okay? I'll just let you all decide which one it is.
the books in many states.
Complaining.
So, yeah. Now, let's talk about some of the other ones. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical
Never expected those words to be uttered, by the way. You're just complaining about it being genocide.
destruction in whole or in part.
Complaining.
Trans people have a
Nice choice
high
of
disproportionate
words.
rate of on-the-job discrimination. They
You are not a national group, a nationality. You are not an ethnic group. You are not a racial group, and you are not a religious group. So you
There
don't
you go.
need that- like it's not going to be genocide. You can say that life is really shitty, but like people aren't rounding you guys.
You're
up
an
to fucking
idiot.
camps.
Like,
People aren't
I'm
rounding you
like,
guys up to
sorry,
fucking,
like,
detention.
I'm
centers
sorry,
and trying
there's
to forcibly
there's no going around this. Like, Sondsol is just an idiot.
trans you. That's not fucking happening. That's not what is happening in the United States. And the example that you gave about requiring sterilization, you even just said that it's no longer a law in the books.
No, she
It doesn't make any
just,
fucking sense.
Oh
They
my
wanna be-
god.
It's like they are trying to find ways to say like, yeah, no, we're being genocide. We're being genocide. Like they fucking want it.
They have a highly disproportionate
I don't even know what to say to this. Like, he listened to a thing, he didn't understand it at all, and just went on a tirade.
rate of mental health, of homelessness. They have a
All of these things can also like everything that. Let's hear all of them because I'm pretty sure so far everything that she's saying also applies to fucking black people.
So?
Are black people currently getting genocided in the United States?
Well, you tell me, are they?
It's just so fucking dumb.
a highly disproportionate rate of untreated mental illness. They have a highly disproportionate rate of being disowned by their family.
Everything except for the last one applies to black people. And people getting disowned by their family does not a genocide make. It has nothing to do with the state enacting intent to destroy the group in part or in whole.
No comment.
This is supported, and by the way, once again, this is supported not only socially, which is very important, but also legally. Not only, I mean, trans people, literally, it's only been since Joe Biden was elected that trans people were even allowed back into the military. They were banned explicitly from the military. What kind of a message does that send about discriminating against trans people? What kind of effect?
Wait, didn't Obama get rid of don't ask, don't tell? Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't have like deep knowledge of what happened in like the two.
Oh, Sondsol is so well informed on the topic that he did not even know about the trans ban from the military by Trump. Because the Sondsol says you should not be speaking of the topics that you have no clue about.
2000s.
Oops.
Here you go.
Oops.
Here's another example. Thank you very much for that,
Whoops.
Anonymous Platype. Exploring trans people's experience of adoption and fostering in the United Kingdom. This is in the UK, not the US, but that's okay. I think they're talking about both. Oh yeah, and not
Wait,
to mention, by the way,
no,
in the
you can't say that there's a genocide happening in the United States and reference all these fucking laws and then say, oh, well, this is happening in the UK. Bro, this is the fucking United States, dog! It's so...
Calm down.
I
They were
can't-
talking about both.
No, that's the thing, Shyla. Like, they literally mean genocide. If it was a situation where they were using it as a term to just rally people, I would be criticizing the language that they use. But instead, they're literally saying that trans people are being genocided
Yeah, because they are. You
to the point where like other streamers that I've tried to argue about this with have said like it's time to start arming trans people, as if giving trans people guns, like there's like a million reasons wrong with that. Like, number one, trans people are the like highest suicide risk in the United States, in the world maybe. All right, they are the highest group at risk for suicide, and having a gun in your house increases your chances of successfully committing suicide by like several orders of magnitude. Number two, what are the trans people going to do with the guns? Do you think that giving a trans person a fucking RPD is suddenly going to give them the ability to get trans-affirming healthcare in fucking Florida, in fucking Texas, in fucking Arkansas? No, it's fucking not. So arming trans people isn't going to
You're
do
not
anything.
as
That's not going to
smart.
stop the supposed genocide that is currently unfolding.
A
I don't know what
supposed.
the... Number one, where is the
Supposed.
genocide? Number two, what is the prescriptions that you're saying that trans people ought to do to make it stop happening? Because it's always violence with these people.
Oh yeah,
It's
with
always
those
fucking
people.
violence.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
said earlier, if
Of
there are
course.
trans, like anti-trans legislation going through, and there are, then there's a million different ways that we can go about trying
Oh, a
to
million different ways.
get rid of those bills. We can start pushing for people to.
Oh, yeah, there are like
go out-
million different ways. It's so easy. It's so easy. Yes, we literally mean genocide. True, Sondsol. Way to say one thing correctly. Yeah.
vote and get their
Oh, yeah,
representatives
just-
elected.
oh,
that
yeah, just
trans-affirming
vote them
healthcare
out.
is
It's so
available to people,
easy,
which is
so
obviously
easy.
a fucking good thing. We want people who are trans to be able to
So
get
easy.
the care that they need, so that they their bodies are more aligned with their minds, so that they are no longer being discriminated against because they don't pass, or if they're unable to pass, then maybe we can try and move society in a way that is more accepting of people who are trans and don't pass. Like there's so many things that we can do to try and stop the discrimination going on in the United States. But none of these people are actually seemingly concerned with doing any of those things. It's just violence, revolution now, and we're having a genocide, so any action that we take against conservatives is justified.
UK, in the UK, there are, there is a high level of media attention given to people who.
I don't even know what to say about this person. Like, Ridiculous.
I don't even
Ridiculous, dude.
unbelievably disproportionate rate of,
And we've seen that
violent crime
debate
done
as well.
against trans people. Okay, so let's get back to this. Let's listen to this conversation. I didn't expect us to have this stuff, but whatever.
They're digging holes and the generals couldn't explain why they brought it there. They have quotes of people talking about we take revenge on the people who stole our land and all that stuff. So I think when you use the term genocide, I don't really know exactly. I think if we're just going pure descriptivism, I don't
Pure
think it's at all. I think if we're talking about
pureness.
rhetorically, I think there's sometimes we'll use the word genocide to be rhetorically effective. I think that's understood in cases. I think when it comes to the case of trans issues in America, I just don't know.
So if the state is trying to
There are
What is going on in chat right now? Holy fucking shit! Are we like actually gonna argue?
More arguing with chat. Can you cut out your weird arguing with chat out of the video, please?
Paragraph form about don't ask, don't tell? Really? Is this just like, is this what my life is? Every single time I talk about a topic, Chad is going to argue about the most fucking useless side tangent of all fucking time? God,
Oh, maybe if you did not introduce side tangents, your chat would not argue about the side tangents. Have you considered that? Have you considered not introducing side tangents? Like,
God damn. Fucking annoying as shit.
think about it.
Wait, do we not remember
Genius.
that just this year, Greg Abbott passed laws criminalizing people taking their kids
It's
to
a
get
tangent.
deemed medically necessary trans healthcare? Does that not extremely easily fit the definition of the UN definition of genocide?
Because here's the thing. When it comes to trans affirming healthcare, not all trans, like, if trans healthcare was medically like necessary in order to survive, then we would expect to see like people who are older trans before these procedures or these hormone therapies or anything like that. We'd expect to see a 100% suicide rate, but we don't. We see a very high suicide rate, but it is not like literally medically necessary to survive. It does make their life really shitty, and we should advocate for people to be able to get those things, but like it does not make it literally
Please
impossible to
do
survive.
not speak on topics you have no clue about.
If we banned
Once
trans
again.
healthcare, but society moved in a way that was more caring and more accepting of trans people, we would probably see a pretty steep
Now, this is a claim that is literally contradictory. How do you have a society that is accepting and caring about trans people and bans trans healthcare at the same time? What is this TERF argument? Are you a TERF secretly? Like, what? If we banned healthcare for trans people but we're a caring society, this is mutually exclusive. You're not a very smart destiny orbiter. In fact, you're one of the least smart ones.
decline in the suicide rate of
Yeah,
trans
that
people
is
still.
quite a
It's still
statement.
higher than the national average, but the like biggest reason that people who are trans commit suicide isn't even the fact that their bodies don't align with their their mind.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that society itself like castigates them and treats them like absolute fucking shit. They can't find jobs in some cases. They can't find like their families disown
He's the least smart of the Destiny Arbiters by far from what I've seen of this content. Like,
them. Their lives are made shitty by society, not just by the fact that their bodies don't align with their minds. And I'm using like of course, like,
citation needed.
deeper philosophical stuff to like the body mind
Oh,
divide when
you're
it comes
such
to, like, trans
a-
stuff, but I'm
you're
using that
such a-
shorthand for the purposes of this conversation.
Oh yeah, you're such a deep philosopher.
Deliberately putting people in the position that they what's it called?
The gay suicide rate was super fucking high. It was very high before gay
Why,
people were
thank
accepted in
you.
society. And I'll even say it was lower than the trans suicide rate, but gay people are less like visibly gay than trans people who are who have like socially transitioned are visibly trans. Source? Google it, dumb fuck.
Hold on, I just closed the fucking window.
What?
I want to make sure we're being very careful with the wording here since this is the topic. Here we go. Hold on, let me just read this one more time.
Did I?
Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of
I'm
calculated
gonna-
physical destruction
I'm just
or harm
gonna
does not passing laws that criminalize
let it
taking
hang.
medically necessary medical care based on political means fit that definition. I think that fits the definition explicitly. Not to mention the fact that now states like Florida, for example, have put into position laws that involve forcing cis people to track their periods in order to guarantee that trans people cannot participate in gendered activities such as sports. Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Greg had the Texas CPS go after families that had trans kids. Yes, it literally required federal intervention to make that happen. Like, to make that to stop
Politics
that
for
from happening.
life.
Greg
You're not actually contributing anything. Take a 5-minute timeout. Holy fuck. Annoying.
he was
Why
CPS people
do
not to
you
officially record it in case federal attention came in. They were going after
edit your videos? Edit out those chat weird arguments.
families. There were families with trans kids that fled the state because of that. And even yes, exactly. I know that some groups are still doing it. Texas is in a hell state right now. Anyway, let's continue.
If the state does two things, with state power directly naming, saying trans kids must be taken away from their parents, plus we're going to now introduce laws to eliminate people's ability to get insurance for transition-related care, and then, you know, move up from there to make it functionally more difficult to...
Sondsol, right, your suicidality comment gets fucking hammered, and so I didn't even read your fucking comment. You're just being a bitch in my chat about literally everything to do with
Why
trans
do I
It's just
need
annoying
this
as
in the
fuck. It's
video?
annoying as fuck. Like, comment on
Hello,
the
Arkael.
comment on, you know, like something that someone says in chat, but like starting 45 goddamn discussions about side tangent things that I like mentioned for a
Edit useless
fucking
filler
second
out
is
of your
really fucking annoying. It
videos.
clutters
It's
up my
not
chat, and I
hard.
can't even fucking see if anyone's trying to refer to me in my own fucking chat.
Like, I will remind you, I would not be talking about this but in this very video, he complained that he hates it when people put zero effort in their videos, okay? And he literally puts zero efforts in his videos. He keeps all the filler in his segment. He does not edit his videos at all. Zero effort.
You little trigger child? I'm the little trigger child. The guy that's typing paragraphs for hours in my chat is calling me the trigger child.
exist as a trans person. Like
You are
I'm
quite
sure we
triggered,
understand
yeah.
The intent is there, right?
Oh yeah, intent's there. Yeah, lots of people have like what I would call
Genocidal
it's
intent.
not genocidal. Yeah, lots of people have intent. But
Yeah,
then
including, by the way, the entire GOP. The GOP's official platform is anti-trans. The GOP's official platform is anti-trans. The GOP's leaders are all jumping on board, calling trans people groomers. They don't even use the word trans people anymore. They just say the
We've all seen this debate many times by now, so we all know what's coming. We all know that Loner Box is gonna walk back on the whole there's intent thing. So I'm really wondering how this dummy is gonna react to that. This DGG here. Ooh, yeah. Politics for life. Come to be a giggler. We're nice over here. Yeah, it's true.
liberal groomers. They've replaced in the GOP's lexicon. They have replaced the word LGBT
Oh, I thought that
with
I was
groomers.
about to hammer
That
on
is
something, but
so fucked up. That is such a level of high level genocidal intent from the mouths of one of the two parties in America.
need to think actually. So I think as far as I know with Texas, this stuff changes a lot.
So you're
As
not
far as
willing
I
to call
know,
it a genocide until the genocide happens, until people start what like when is it going to be an actual genocide where it's you're cool with calling it a genocide? How
I
many
mean, this
how many
is the
people
case
have
with
to,
any. This is the case with any genocide, right? Like you don't call it genocide until it's actually happened, right?
is it the camps? Like when is it going to be enough to
So, like, what is the point of calling a genocide after it has happened? Like, the whole point of recognizing and calling a genocide was in order to prevent it from happening again. How do you prevent something that has already happened?
say it's, I mean like it seems to me that you're
Oh my
to
gosh.
say that what's
Oh
going
my
on right
gosh.
now is not the beginnings of a genocide, right? You're saying there's not enough genocidal activity.
It's not just the beginnings. It's not just the beginnings. It's only very recently that
Sondsol
any
just
attention has
committed-
been paid to the fact that
Sondsol just committed a genocide. Yeah, very fucking true. Genocide all annoying chatters in chat in Roblox.
Ha ha ha.
often forced
So
to go
funny
when
humor.
they're arrested, like if a trans person is arrested for a crime, trans people are most frequently forced to go into prisons that are the opposite the opposite gender of what they identify as. AKA, they're forced to go into a prison that matches their birth certificate, regardless of their current state, which always puts them in danger. That in and of itself qualifies.
Funniest streamer.
I think it was a mistake to say that we should only. That I don't know what this.
Zonia, can you make it a streamable link? Because if I click a Twitch clip, it's gonna kill my stream. I'm about to. Oh wait, hold on. Are there any tech geeks in chat? How do I see what kind of RAM I have? Because I need to order some more. I need to upgrade my RAM. I need to download some more RAM from.
Do I need to listen
and
about
I'm hoping
this
that might
in the
fix the issue
segment
with
about
Twitch clips just gutting
transgenocide?
my fucking stream every single time.
I
play
don't
one.
care. I don't care about your PC. Cut it out.
On Twitter.
Edit your
Mistakes
videos,
for them
please.
to say like, oh, what are we supposed to wait until it happens? It is happening. There are
For
quantifiable
God's sake,
aspects
edit your videos.
in multiple states that absolutely qualify as genocide. Trans people are marginalized
Not
and
true.
forced in positions that have that.
Oh, this seems important. It's political hobbyism, just a smug obsession with being right over affecting or even considering anything else. True. Like, this is so true. But it's also trying to make money on topics that you have no clue about. Let's remember that there's the monetary incentive on putting out content, okay? On topics that one has no clue about. I know what you mean, Daniel. I was a Lonerbox subscriber until halfway through that video. Yeah. Like, to Lonerbox's credit, Lonerbox is a lot better about this than Sondsol here. Sondsol here is like just ridiculous. He's so loudly ignorant. He has no clue about most topic that he's talking about, but he still confidently talks about them, even though he has zero knowledge about what he's talking about.
Of the increased,
Ridiculous.
mortality rate,
fuck
of
off.
the increased rate of
I want to hear fucking Lonerbox speak, not you. Fuck off. Dumb fuck.
poverty.
Comfortable saying it's a
Okay, she, her. Okay.
You're reacting to Demon Mama's video, you idiot.
would the Nuremberg laws have been enough, even though maybe there wasn't enough relocation of Jews and
I don't know what to
the beginnings
say.
of genocide? Of course, there's going to be people that deny it's going on, but I don't want you to be one of them. Is what I'm saying. I guess that's my point.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, of course a thing has to happen before it's a genocide. Okay, like yeah, otherwise it's not genocide. Otherwise you can call it a build-up. There's nothing wrong with saying that. I'm gonna start taking notes because there was quite a lot in there. Can you just go back to the second last thing you said?
Like, what's the point of identifying something after it had already happened? At that point, it's too late to do anything. It's pointless. Hindsight 2020 is not the best way. Like, Raphael Lemkin did not exactly coin the term for us to go, hindsight 2020. I know what you mean.
Well, I was trying to analogize to I don't know the exact details of how what happened on or about the time
Oh,
of the
sorry,
Nuremberg
I
laws.
remember. Yeah, I remember. So with that definition of them trying to, I guess, to erase.
Really quick, this is not telling me what it just says that I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. I thought I had 16, but I have 8 gigabytes of RAM, but it doesn't tell me if it's DDR4 or DDR3.
I don't care about your RAM.
How does-
I know you
how does
don't
it
have a
tell?
clue. You don't have a clue about many things.
these
But
things.
I don't really need to
Absolutely.
hear about
Well,
it.
like trans erasure, and by the way, I think trans erasure is incredibly fucking alarming, and that's what, yeah. And I think, especially with America and all the Tennessee laws and all that, like I don't
Oh,
the first thing I
control
want to get out of the
panel?
way, we're arguing over terminology with genocide. I don't think that makes me any less alarmed than anyone else. Okay, this is about terminology. When it comes to calling it a genocide, I think with your definition, then you could call so many things a genocide. You could call the treatment of British Muslims a genocide, right? Or at least the early stages of a genocide, because they do things like they try to do like secularization. Like if you want to be a British citizen, you have to like demonstrate things like you have to swear allegiance to the Queen.
Also,
all these things.
erasure of whole groups of
That's not even-
people
that's
is
not even close to the same.
genocide.
Trans people's entire lives are impeded legislatively. Every single trans person I know has met some roadblock, some legal roadblock in getting the medical health care they need. That's not the same thing. I do agree there's egregious discrimination against British Muslims, but that's not even close. Swearing allegiance to the Queen is not the same fucking thing. Not even close. Nuts says, memes aside, Lonerbox is like an actual leftist. He should be better than this. Yeah. Killjoy 40K says, what Lonerbox is doing is similar to what Nazis do with Holocaust denial. I don't think he's doing it deliberately, but he's made a goalpost that can't be met except in hindsight, meaning nothing is a genocide until after it's already too late. Yeah, yeah.
Faith, or they'll actually detain kids for having like Arabic writing on their t-shirts because they think that because
Fucking terrible.
the teacher thought it looked like a terrorist.
Oh.
Pause,
So they
Andy.
do lots
Holy
of crazy
fuck.
shit, but again, like we don't call it genocide, and we don't really need to fight it.
Well, so I'm not going to address exactly that point because I don't know enough about it. But let me tell you, the reason why we say that transphobes assert that we don't exist.
That is what our reaction is. You pause and you react.
As people and say and to just claim that we are at best they'll claim we're something we're not. At worst they will just make it so that life is unlivable for us. And so I think
Yeah.
denying somebody's religion is. You could, I don't know if you need to, but you could certainly distinguish denying somebody their right to free expression of religion to denying somebody their right to exist such that their mental health will certainly be, or life will essentially be unlivable by design. Right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I guess you can say that with that's what happens with say like the cultural genocide that's happening in China is they're taking Muslims and taking them into re-education.
Hey, what's going on in China is a genocide. It's not just a cultural genocide. In China, there are deliberate attempts.
So are we just not using the definition of genocide? Like they're arguing the definition of a word while ignoring the actual definition? Yes, because there seems to be
No,
some,
there's more than one definition of
fascination
genocide.
recently with just like taking the most extreme
No.
like term for something and then applying it. Like so, like let's
No,
say someone
that's
when they're in
not
high
what's
school,
happening.
Like a white dude in high school use like the soft A N word, right? That man is a racist. He couldn't have just been like a cringy white kid who was like fucking 16 years old. That guy was a racist who hated black people.
What am I listening to right
If
now?
someone
This is
thinks that trans women in sports is a very either like nuanced thing that needs like time and effort to figure out what the correct
yeah. It might be a nuanced thing, but you have no clue about it, and yet you confidently speak on it. So please stop talking about it.
to allow everyone to
Stop.
be able to compete in sports at a competitive level.
Because you have no
That
clue.
person's transphobic. They hate trans people.
You're just stupid. I'm not even
there's
sure if you're like.
there's trans legislation that is kind of really shitty to trans people. This is a genocide.
Oh
Task
yeah.
manager, click on-
There's a legislation that is just quote unquote shitty to trans people. 240 bills just this year, 640 bills from 2018. Oh yeah, these are just some bills that are pretty crappy, right?
On memory and look at the upper right of the window and see size and type. Okay, let me
I don't know.
reopen up Task Manager because I've been looking off at the side over
Like-
here, trying to find dead. Okay, I have Task
Sondsol chat seeing Demon Mama
Memory
try
is
to
not
do
an option.
historical analysis.
To reduce
Is always
the,
painful.
population,
Yeah.
control the population, to literally reduce childbirth. Like, there was a number
I don't
of
wanna
examples
download
of this,
something.
of them pressuring Muslim people, weaker Muslims.
Sonsol's chat
pressuring
is
them to
cringe as
to
heck.
forcibly sterilizing them in camps, and also heavily pressuring them to get their to get sterilized or get
Like
sterilized.
those people have zero clue about history, zero clue, and then they confidently criticize others. Like this is why we need to push correct knowledge about history, because then Sonsols smugly push nonsense. Okay?
Of
And
their own.
yes, the term genocide was indeed invented to prevent genocide. You know? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Arkael.
We're doing weaker genocide denialism. No, I understand. It's funny. It is funny that like he's sliding back on his definition in other genocides in order to defend this position. I tend to think Leonard is pretty well intentioned, but I feel like so far this is a miss.
centers and sending them out as non-Muslims. Like they dress like they don't wear their veils anymore and things like that, and they cook different food. Like
Okay.
again, that's like
Well, that's
state
not-
agents taking
that's
them into
bad.
camps and enforcing it. So that's why that's a cultural genocide.
It's not just a
yeah,
cultural
again, like
genocide.
trans-
That is just a
doesn't
normal
tell me.
genocide. Deliberately erasing, moving people from one place to another,
Doesn't tell
separating
me.
people from their families and their children in order to re-educate them is just a genocide.
So the tribal don't exist again. Like, so does that mean that I guess up until
Hippie Punk says this is the same logic that Chomsky uses to say that Srebrenica wasn't a genocide, and what Tankies used to blow off Xinjiang. This is not a road to go down. I agree. Big
Yeah.
mistake.
a certain
I
point,
think
like,
it's a
like,
mistake as well.
Gay people were just being genocided for the entire like 10,000 years of humanity or whatever before gay people started to get recognized. Was that genocide?
Do you
Calm
think that
down,
okay? So
Sansa.
say that the intent. So, do you generally accept that the idea that transition-related healthcare is important for trans people to live? You know,
Yeah, just out of interest. Why do you think I would say no?
That isn't a okay. So just to be clear, we, as far as objective knowledge can go, we have had an abundance of studies that allowing trans people to transition absolutely increases their likelihood of good mental health outcomes, drastically reduces the rate of suicide. Because, as it turns out, we have documented evidence that trans people undergo extreme duress from having to live as a gender that they do not identify as. That is like what trans 101. Okay, and not just a matter of trans 101. That's been well studied. Killjoy says, my experience with this is when people feel this way about genocide, it's generally because they have a mythology in their head about genocide, where they can't imagine anything that is currently happening to be genocide, because genocides are what happened during other people's lifetime.
Yeah,
Control
exactly.
of the world while they're alive. They could still slice through the propaganda and see what's happening if it was in their lifetime. Yeah. Let's continue.
Go to that.
well, because I'm trying to understand why you would analogize between a cultural genocide of religious people, you know, which is bad. And I'm not even gonna say that's not a genocide because it sounds genocidal. But I don't know enough about it to really debate the point. But I do know that denying trans people healthcare will kill them. And that's the intent, to kill trans people by making.
Okay, I just disagree with this. I think that
Yeah, I
in
know.
the past,
I know you
don't know,
disagree
10
because
years,
you're
we have seen
stupid.
A massive uptick in the amount of people that, or in the amount of oh man, every single word that's going through my head right now is the
Like, I don't use that lightly.
acceptance for trans.
I don't say that lightly, but from all that I've seen of this person, like from the debate with President Sunday, from this video thus far, I really, all that I can conclude is this person is just not very smart.
people, right? right? We've seen a massive uptick in the amount of acceptance for trans people. That's not to say that it's nearly what it ought to be, right? That's not to say that we're at a perfect place, right? But we have seen a massive uptick in the acceptance of trans people, right? The person who we watched their video where it was basically
Far
giving
from
us
perfect,
the
it's not even
rundown of what
good.
this
What
debate
do you
is going to be
mean?
about. That person referenced some study or some polling that showed that like most conservatives, which I for some reason I doubt this, but they said that most conservatives don't even support anti-trans legislation, which I find incredibly difficult to believe. But you know, like that's just what their polling said. So if that's the case, then like I don't know. 1 second, go back
They
just a
have
little
the
bit.
mythology in their head about genocide, where they can't imagine.
Genocide of religious people, you know, which is bad. I'm not even gonna say that's not a genocide because it sounds genocidal. But I don't know enough about it to really debate the point. But I do know that denying trans people healthcare will kill them.
That's right, the intent part. So like I don't think that you can jump from people are like spookied out by political talking points, and let's be clear, that's what they are, because most people on the left, and I'm talking about like broadly left, talk about from liberals to progressives to leftists to socialists to Maoists, like, you know, well, actually, a lot of those communists are like very socially conservative, but you know what I mean? Like all these people, even them are like a little bit not 100% on board with like the hyper online trans like rhetoric that's going on right now, especially around like trans genocide or shit like
Hyper-online.
that, you know? So if we don't even see people on the left agreeing with this, right? But there is an uptick in the amount of people that are supportive of trans people and think that, hey, you know what? Your body, your choice, whatever. As long as you're not doing it to minors, I don't really care. If we see that, then there's probably not an intent to kill trans people out there, you know?
Okay, so I will translate this very silly, I'm going to use the word silly argument, and I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the general populace thinks. Do you know whose intent matters the most? The people who push legislation. That is who matters. The people who push the laws. It is their intent that we are discussing, not of the general population. Like, what is this? Like, is this person not supposed to be a political commentator? Is this person not supposed to know what he is talking about? Isn't he being paid for talking about this stuff?
And that's the intent, to kill trans people by making life.
The intent comes from the legislators, not from the general public.
Do you guys remember when the Donald Trump admin published guides?
No,
to
Zoni
the,
doesn't think
to the
there
Health
is.
And Human Services. They published a memo to the official. I'm talking literally the Department.
This
of
is
Health and Human
ridiculous.
Services, that taught people how to spot trans women. To see if trans women were inappropriately going to women's shelters. Do you remember that? That was like 2 years ago. That was on the books. That, in and of itself, and this isn't like
Is that
some
genocide?
People. That was the presidency, the president, the federal government.
It's
Is that
one.
the law now? Fuck, dude.
Published a memo teaching people how to spot so they could discriminate against trans women. Guys,
It's an element of it, you idiot.
So now when you say intent like that, it sounds like you are appealing to
Like,
within, like a definition. So yeah.
every time a law is being cited as part of the genocide, Sondsol, like a brainlet, asks, what is this law? The genocide? Like, no single law constitutes a genocide. And Sondsol is about on the level of CTV or some of the conservatives you'd see on Hippy Dippy. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. I mean, he's a Stephen Orbiter after all, you know? So, he is on brand, certainly. Like, he's being on brand. Sadly. What do you know? That is what happens.
So,
Again, like,
so when if
with religion, just to be clear, I said what's happening to Muslims in the UK is not enough for a genocide. It's systemic discrimination. It's state, it's abusive and all that. Yeah. I said what happening in China is more clearly like cultural genocide because
here we go. elements of the crime of genocide. This is from the official, by the way, UN.org. This is the official UN website. The
Let's
popular
see it
understanding that
stretch.
constitutes genocide tends to be broader than the content of the norm under international law. Article 2 of the Genocide Convention contains a narrow definition of the crime of genocide, which includes two main elements. A mental element, the intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. The entire GOP is on board with this. The GOP is one of two parties in the United States, and they were just in power, and they easily fit this. 2. A physical element, which includes the following 5 acts enumerated exhaustively. Killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction, in whole or in part, imposing measures intended to prevent births. There we go, right there. Forcibly transferring children.
But of course, I repeat, Sondsol's argument is that since the gender is not on the list, then it doesn't count. Unfortunately, Sondsol is one of the left that you did see on the hippy dippy.
To another group. Okay, sorry, that is the UN, that is the UN's most stringent definition.
It's literally the exact same. Wait, what was different about that article and the one that she read earlier?
Of genocide, and we already are fairly within that.
I get this is worth talking about for the people who are trans, but at what point do politicians decide this minority is too small to dedicate this much political capital to? The Republicans are going to use trans people as a boogeyman until people are they socialize with enough trans people to where they don't feel like spooked out by them. Which people like Demon Mama make that really.
That's not true. That's actually a lie. Already we have seen far-right people saying, if we cannot appeal to the populace, we will just change the law without their consent or without their approval. This is literally what the far-right politicians have said. If we cannot get the population on board, then we will just change the law without seeking the approval of the population. You are just incorrect on this. Like, how am I more informed on what's happening with trans rights in the US when I live in Poland and you have no clue and you live in the US? How can that be? Like, this is ridiculous.
hard because
That's the only reason I knew who he was before this. Okay.
unironically say like attack helicopter gender is valid because as long as you identify as something, it is your gender, and there doesn't have to be any
Ha ha ha. Amazing. Amazingly mindless argument against self-identification.
anything else. There it doesn't have to be any kind of like underlying fact of the matter where like internally
Underlying fact of the matter bullshit. I hate this argument so much. And of course, I am willing to bet this person thinks non-binary people do not exist.
you feel like a woman or you feel like a man or something like that. There doesn't have to be anything like that. It,
Or something like that.
just simply like saying, yeah, I identify as an attack helicopter. That makes it your literal gender. And she's defended that explicitly on her show. So like when we have people like that out there, it makes that really hard. But Republicans are going to use trans people as a
Like you're
boogeyman.
just an idiot. Like, I'm sorry, like you have no arguments. Like you speak on topics that you have no clue about.
Until they are no longer like scary to most people. And Democrats are going to use them as, like the people that they must protect. This is who we're protecting because they love to virtue signal. And until the Republicans stop using them as a boogeyman, then the Democrats are going to continue using them as, their little political pawns. And the unfortunate fact is, like, trans people simply want to get they want to get the healthcare. They don't care about all of the other political games unless you're like a crazy, like ultra anarchist person like Demon Mama. I guess I get that. I guess I think
Oh yeah, Demon Mama's just crazy. Demon Mama's just crazy. Wait. I have something for this. This one is called Appeal to Ridicule. Trying to convince someone to accept an argument in order to avoid becoming the object of ridicule may take form of an ad hominem or strawman attack. Ridicule and sarcasm deny discussion. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful argumentation.
harder to make them the boogeyman if one of the two parties was not championing legislation for them.
Demon Mama's just
For
crazy.
trans people, it doesn't affect anyone but trans people, right? Like it just like makes it to where healthcare is more available, right? Now you can make the argument, and I think that you could have a valid argument insofar as like how loose or how stringent should these laws be, right? Who should have access?
But you know what? Demon Mama may be crazy, quote unquote, but somehow she is still a 17 times bigger creator than you. So people, I guess, resonate with her a lot more than with you, about 17 times more.
Access to them,
Whoops.
et cetera, right? Those are valid arguments that you can make, right? Because I think that
Whoopsie daisy.
we should have some laws that like make it to where like you're not operating on like an 8-year-old child and turning them trans, right? But the thing is, that doesn't fucking happen. I don't think that there's ever been a sex reassignment surgery on a child, right? But that doesn't matter when you can, and the left does this a lot with conservatives too. So before
What?
like people start saying like, oh, you're just vilifying conservatives, the left does this with conservatives too. Like, Republicans.
Oh wow, being the centrist, aren't you, Sondsol? Being a good centrist.
Republicans just want to kill all black people or some shit like that. Or like Demon Mom is doing here, conservatives want to kill all trans people. But if you can create a moral
The sweet, sweet centrism.
by virtue of that,
Gotta love it. Gotta love the
sorry,
centrist approach.
Shyla, don't. I understand it's a joke, but like I've moved off of making jokes like that because people absolutely take that shit super seriously. And it does. Like I think that those kinds of jokes only hurt trans people in the long run. Like I understand that you mean it as a joke, but like I've moved off of like the joking indoctrination of children because people are super protective of their children, you know. But all right, catch you later, vigilante. But okay, what was I saying? I was
Oh,
saying that
you forget already.
moral panics and as long as you can have the ability to turn it into a moral panic where like people are obviously going to be very protective of their children. People are like freaked out by like some of the headlines that they see. Depending on how well you're able to like push that messaging out, you can make them the boogeyman for like the smallest of reasons, right? Like a lot of the pro-trans legislation out there isn't really all that like wide-reaching, right? It's not like saying that like we can turn like an 8-year-old into a trans woman with like corrective penile surgery, right? Like that doesn't happen, right? It doesn't happen with the lack of anti-trans legislation, right? It's not like we have to ban this because it doesn't happen in the first place. There's no legislation out there protecting
My
8-year-olds
gosh.
getting like vaginoplasty, I think it's called, right? Hold on. I said 8-year-olds politics for life. You're doing the fucking thing again. Don't fucking post things. I said 8-year-olds. Now, moving on to what politics for life is saying
I
here.
have no
all right?
clue what you're talking
It
about.
is also a thing that we could start making arguments about at what age do they start receiving this health care. And I think that there are arguments that are legitimate about teenagers as young as like 15 and 16 receiving this kind of healthcare in a legitimate way and it being good for them. And I think that if we do go too far with allowing people to get it too easily, that people can absolutely like get it and regret it, right? Which is why we need to be careful. The unfortunate thing for a lot of progressives and for trans people, right, is that trans the like medical side of transness is not
This is a ridiculous argument, by the way, because people are allowed to do many procedures that they regret. Should we just ban plastic surgery across the board? Is that it? Is that what you're advocating for? Because people may regret it.
it's not settled. The science isn't settled. Although it
Yes, it is. What do you mean? Citation needed. What do you mean the science is not settled? That's such a right-wing argument. The science is not settled. Can you please provide any citation to prove it?
points in a very, very specific direction. It does point towards trans people receiving health care that is gender affirming does lead to a lower suicidality rate and a higher quality of life for trans people.
Like, you're just asserting that. Like, what the hell is this? You're literally just throwing out that talking point. He's holding on a very clearly to a lot of us conservative talking points and assumptions. Yeah, like what is this? What is this whole it's not settled science BS? Like, can I see any citation? Because from what I've seen from actual studies, the science is far more settled than what you're claiming it to be.
This much we do know, but
We know a lot more.
amount of like especially young trans people that end up desisting after a couple of years. So
Citation needed? No, that's not true. In fact, the puberty blockers data that bigots posted seem to indicate that below 1% of children do not continue after puberty blockers to transition. And the one child that did not transition they didn't transition because they were afraid of side effects, not because they didn't want to transition. Like, citation needed quite literally. What do you mean a lot of children desist? This is BS. You're pulling this out of your ass. What's going on? Spoken like a true Stephen Arbiter, I swear.
when do we make the call, and how do we know that the call is right to allow people to receive this kind of healthcare, especially
We have studies for that, you dunce. What do you mean? Like, you're basically fear-mongering right now like a conservative. We have data, we have studies. Like, we have been doing this for a while. Sondsol has to hold onto his conservative chatters, so he's gotta give their dumb claims credibility, so he's not biased, quote-unquote. Yeah. Like, what is this? This is ridiculous. We have tons of data by now.
the more permanent solutions like mastectomies or like full sex reassignment surgeries, right? How do we decide at what age people?
Nobody gives those to teens. Those are for adults. What do you mean? Like, and he considers himself to be a pro-trans advocate.
Those surgeries, and this is complicated by the fact that it's not like it's just so easy as waiting until they're 18 and they can make the decision for themselves. As a lot of the things that people are trying to avoid is going through that sexed puberty, right? So that, like, these things all make this an ultra difficult conversation to have,
Yeah, for bigots.
So at the end of the day, we're still trying to figure out what the correct thing is, but we can go based off of what the science says right now.
No.
We can try to make the best call
What? You're being ridiculous.
that we can, as is the case with all of medical science throughout all of human history. Okay, there were I made a joke about lobotomizing a chatter who was being retarded in chat earlier, and I apologize.
Yeah, you did make that amazing. You did make the amazing humor about lobotomy, yeah. Among other amazing jokes that you have made on this stream, yeah.
To my friend in chat for the ableist language, I have a pass. I am neurodivergent. But
Ha 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 ha.
before I look at Oreo Bandit's chat here. Medical science is always going to be evolving, and we have to make the best call that we know at the time is like the best thing that we can do based off of all the evidence that we have. And based off of the evidence that we have, we do know that like gender affirming care helps.
We
Now,
know a lot more. We know a lot
if
more.
Republicans would back off of the arguments on puberty blockers. I think that puberty blockers are a legitimate thing that helps us find that middle ground where
They will not.
we can give puberty blockers to
They
young
will
teens that are
not
going through the
back
sex,
off. They don't care.
puberty that they don't want to go through.
Like, people like this, I don't know, this is dishonest or something, but like, conservatives don't care. They're not just some misinformed, well-meaning people. You're being ridiculous to claim. So, are you saying Matt Walsh is just some well-meaning dude? Are you kidding me?
If they end up desisting,
Are you joking? I think seems Wait, has he muted himself?
based off of what the science says right now.
Has
We
he
try to
muted
make the best
himself?
call that we can, as is the case with all of medical science throughout all of human history.
Yeah,
There
he
like,
doesn't.
I made a joke about lobotomizing a chatter who was being retarded in chat earlier, and I apologize to my friend in chat for the ableist language. I have a pass. I am neurodivergent. But
Cringe.
okay, before I look at Oreo Bandit's chat
Cringe.
here. Medical science is always going to be evolving, and we have to make the best call that we know at the time is like the best thing that we can do based off of all the evidence that we have. And based off of the evidence that we have, we do know that like gender affirming care helps. Now, I think that if Republicans would back off of the arguments on puberty blockers, I think that puberty blockers are a legitimate thing that helps us find that middle ground where, okay, we can give puberty blockers
Yeah.
to
Doctors should make that call, not politicians, and especially not Sondsol.
young teens who are going through the sexed puberty that they don't want to go through. And if they end up desisting,
Sexed puberty. As opposed to what? Unsexed puberty? Non-sexed puberty? Wait, he muted himself.
we can give
Like,
puberty
let's
blockers
watch it.
to,
He muted
young teens
himself.
who are going through the sexed puberty that they don't want to go through. And if they end up desisting,
He muted himself. What's going on? He's going on a silent rant. Also,
right? Now, there are some things that we should worry about with puberty blockers, but I think that on one hand, going to
professional content, by the way, just muted himself and he just left this in the video. This is how working hard on making your video good looks like in his eyes.
far in banning puberty blockers and then making all trans people go through the puberty that they don't want to go through is going to be damaging to trans people. And on the other side, not allowing puberty blockers and then letting people go through with HRT or the like more aggressive surgeries is going to be damaging to people that end up desisting. So I think that
First of all, the level of desisting is almost zero. Literally almost zero. Second of all, no one is giving hormones or surgeries to children to begin with. Maybe he said something wrong and censored the audio to self-fact check. That's probably too charitable. Well, you know what he could also do? He could edit the whole thing out of the video. You could cut it out. Editing, the magic of editing, allows you to cut certain parts out of a video, I cannot believe. This is so silly.
right now, puberty blockers are probably our best stopgap. But Republicans don't even want to let that go through. So it's just like this mind fucking thing where like Republicans went all the way one direction. Democrats are like ideologically split all over the place where there's like a middle ground for like the majority of people. Let's be honest, like liberals are going to be in the middle on this one where they're like, yeah, puberty blockers, or like if you're like wait till you're 18 to get the surgeries. I think that's where like most liberals are, or maybe like 17. But most liberals aren't going to be saying, yeah, 12-year-olds.
I'd say you're like more right-leaning. Like, do you consider yourself to be a left-leaning person?
Be getting their titties chopped off or their dick turned into a vagina, right? That's just not where the United States is right now. So I don't understand why like the best stopgap we have is being 1,000,000%, attacked by conservatives. I'm not trying to sound like, but what is the reason behind gender affirming gender dysphoria rather than attempting to treat it as a mental illness? So this is also something that should be studied, but we don't have enough. We don't have the success rate of getting people to desist in their transness. I'm using the best language that I can right now. We don't have.
That's because almost nobody who decides to transition desists. We have data on this. We have studies. You donkey poo-poo.
a good success rate at getting them to
You
no longer
donkey
feel
poo-poo.
gender dysphoria simply through therapy. There is no known therapy besides gender affirming care, whether it's HRT.
Oh, someone's kind of oof. Somebody's suggesting that we could be trying just conversion therapy, but we don't have enough data. Interesting, interesting.
or the surgeries. And
If he was going to censor parts of the video where he said something wrong, then there'd be no video. True.
also, on top of that, a lot of trans people don't even go through with the surgeries. A lot of them are totally fine with just living on the estrogen or testosterone, depending on which way they're transitioning.
And that's fine.
I think that this is like the
And that's
conversation that needs
okay.
to be had. Like where do we draw the line on when surgeries are allowed? Where are we going to allow puberty blockers to be allowed to be used? And if liberals have their way, like I'm talking about broad Democrats in the United States, if the Democrats had their way, broadly speaking, I think that it would probably look something like this. It would probably look like something like we're allowing puberty blockers as long as you go to a psychologist or something like that. They say, okay, seems like everyone affected by this issue would benefit from it not being politicized and firmly in the realm of science and medicine. Yeah, I agree. I would love for that to happen. And I think 99.99% of trans people also want that. Unfortunately, we have schizophrenic people like fucking Demon Mama over here.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, what?
This is like the conversation that needs to be had. Like where do we draw the line on when surgeries are allowed? Where are we
Oh
going to
yeah,
allow-
this is the topics that we need to be having, like how much is too much for trans people, right? Oh yeah, yeah.
puberty blockers to be allowed to be used. And if liberals have their way, like I'm talking about broad Democrats in the United States, if the Democrats had their way, broadly speaking, I think that it would probably look something like this. It would probably look like something like we're allowing puberty blockers as long as you go to a psychologist or something like that. They say, okay, seems like everyone affected by this issue would benefit from it not being politicized and firmly in the realm of science and medicine. Yeah, I agree. I would love for that to happen. And I think 99.99% of trans people also want that. Unfortunately, we have schizophrenic people like fucking Demon Mama over here.
Oh yeah, trans people, the topic of trans people is definitely caused by quote-unquote schizophrenic people like Demon Mama. Demon Mama single-handedly politicizes the topic of transness, not far-right people pushing 240 bills to ban trans people. No, it's Demon Mama. Demon Mama politicizes the issue. Not Matt Walsh, not Libs of TikTok, not all of the far-right conservative politicians that actually push bills to erase trans people out of existence. No, it's the fear-mongering Demon Mama that is single-handedly making the topic political. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're a genius. You're amazing, Sondsol. You are a genius. Okay.
They're constantly saying that we have a trans genocide going on, and that you can literally identify as an attack helicopter. Which,
Oh, yeah,
again,
yeah.
This isn't me. Like
Oh yeah, that's what Demon Mama is saying. That you can literally identify as an attack helicopter.
misquoting her or being a straw man. This is literally what she said. So take that as you will. But yeah, trans people are being caught up.
I will take it as I will. I do not believe you. Like, this is a thing that I have like an opportunity when I talk to Demon Mama. I'll just ask her directly, and she will probably answer, and it will be probably a normal, reasonable response. Okay. Most pro Demon Mama DGG are better. True. Like, sheesh. Like, I don't know. This is so sad. Like, my gosh, gigglers. My gosh. Come on. Let me see. But yeah, let's continue.
like scapegoats by the right and, you know, pawns by the left in the United States. If the Democrats had their way, as I was going to finish earlier, I think it would look something like we would make it to where people go to a psychologist and they
Oh, the evil Democrats! If the Democrats had their way, the enlightened centrist
I don't know
position.
which I'm not a fucking doctor or psych major or anything, but like they would go to some medical professional. They would be diagnosed as having gender dysphoria. They would be given, especially at like a young age, they would be given some kind of puberty blocker, and then they would revisit the psychologist every 6 months, 1 year, and then they would get physicals to make sure that nothing's fucking up.
Physicals.
You know. So like that's probably. I think that's probably where we would be seeing things. Like there would be like medical intervention, and the surgeries probably wouldn't happen until late teenage years at the earliest. I think that that's where we would see where the Democrats come in legislatively. But when it comes to Republicans, they don't even want those stopgaps where like a psychologist can even diagnose someone with gender dysphoria without like fear of having their license revoked right now. And that's so unbelievably fucked. How do we find a middle ground between what is the middle ground, right? Because the far left, like Demon Mama, they would say like they're like HRT should be an over the
Oh, the far left. The far left.
counter medicine, and you can identify as anything you want, and like you know all this fucking
Like the.
crazy stuff where they're literally brewing
Crazy.
bathtubs and handing out that information to fucking minors like a fucking lunatic, right? And the so like that's
That's not fear mongering at all.
allow no one this fucking healthcare, and the Democrats I think are pretty fucking centrist on this, and unfortunately the Democrats are being
Centrist.
like these fucking lunatics that want to chop off little girls' titties and little boys' dicks, and it's just like, bro, how do we find a midpoint between what is the midpoint and
The
no
midpoint.
healthcare? An unnecessary amount of suffering.
How do we? I never expected this sort of. How do we find the midpoint to what is the midpoint? Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh.
It's just crazy. You don't have to like. I know a lot about this, and I've thought about this a lot, and I have very close friends that are trans.
You do not know a lot about this. You do not.
I've talked about that a lot with them, so like I know about this, and
Oh,
I
you've got
and I
friends,
care
okay.
about this because I care about it on behalf of my friends that are trans.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I want them to have the best life possible, and I feel like people like Demon Mama and Polly are making their lives significantly worse because they
Oh,
give so
yeah,
much
yeah,
ammunition
yeah.
to conservatives to say that trans kids are being indoctrinated into transness. The middle ground is this. We
Into
recognize children
transness,
will display some degree
okay.
of gender confusion, and that the reasonable approach is not to instantly push these children into therapy where the therapists have an interest in socially transition. Okay, this is where you go completely off the fucking walls. Everything up to this point, not instantly push children into
Lol.
everything right there.
Lol.
You won't even allow them to go to therapy, motherfucker? You won't even let them go to motherfucking therapy? Because you assume that, what, there's some sort of therapist fucking cabal that's confusing children into chopping their dicks off? Really? That's what your fucking position is, retard? Take your meds! Holy shit! You won't even say that therapy is an acceptable fucking thing! You're literally insane.
This is not performative at all. That's not performative at all.
Yeah.
Sondsol, the hero of trans people. You are my hero, Sondsol.
I think Letterboxd is really
The
wrong.
intent is there to destroy the religion. It's there, and the state is actually.
The intent is 50% of the definition, a demonstrable intent. And keep in mind that the intent by the GOP goes way.
Yeah, wait, hold on. This is really funny. Yeah, the intent is 50% of the definition, and the other
Very
50%
funny.
is saying that it's
Very funny.
nationality, racial groups, ethnic groups, and religions, not fucking genders, dumb fuck. You said, yeah, that's only half of the definition. Yeah, because the other half of the definition doesn't support that there's a trans genocide also.
Yeah, I thought Letterboxd's take was bad, but Sondsol is like, I'll show you bad takes. Yeah. And then he had that debate with President Sunday, which was an embarrassment. Like, that was an embarrassment. There's no two ways about it. Like at some point, President Sunday just lost his patience with this dude and said, "You're an idiot," and like what can I say? Like what am I supposed to say? Like it's so hard to disagree. Like it's impossible to disagree.
No, the problem is that the therapists that they will be referred to have an interest in affirming this confusion. Oh wow, holy shit. Well then we should just literally just like never allow anyone gender affirming care because there's a cabal of therapists that are always going to trans children. Why? Oh man, we should never go to the doctor because the doctor has an incentive to prescribe you medications. You should never call a plumber because they're always going to be incentivized to tell you there's something wrong with your pipes.
Well, it almost sounds like healthcare should not be, something that's motivated by profit, right? It almost sounds like healthcare should be decommodified. Funny that, huh? But maybe that's just too far
I don't
left,
think anyone
right?
should change someone's mind after calling them subhuman. Yet true, but it feels so good to do it. All right.
Way farther than what they've managed to succeed in.
Seizing people and putting them into education camps that they can't leave.
So,
To change their,
so good to call people subhuman.
Conversion
Oh,
therapy
yeah.
is legal in many U.S. states.
So
Conversion
good.
therapy is
And there are people that are trying to make it illegal.
legal.
the threshold is just so much higher. So that's why I'm kind of analogizing British Muslims more.
So
than
good.
a genocide. But again, the intent to kill people, that would put the burden on you. I don't think there's any written statements from people and like saying that we're trying to get rid of trans healthcare or trans education rights and all that because we want to kill trans people, right? Like,
So is that what it would take? The law would have to say, we would like to, our goal is to kill trans people. That's
well, you said that,
To
but
be-
you said that the intent is there.
it.
Killjoy says, wouldn't half the genocide definition still pretty much qualifies as a genocide? If you're planning on doing
No.
genocide, means you should probably be treated as though you're about to commit a genocide? Yeah. That's why I'm saying that strict
Well,
adherence to the...
the half of the definition is dependent on the other half. You have to have the intent to destroy a group in whole or part, but then they lay out what groups define a genocide. And gender is not one of those groups.
You
If
just...
you want to expand it to gender, then you would have to show the intent.
What?
to the UN definition is bullshit. Strict adherence to the UN definition here is only useful for the UN. The UN, which is tasked with having to resolve national conflicts to avoid war. That's not what anyone else is doing. The rest of us are trying to avoid being genocided. It absolutely fits the definition for every reason that any trans activist would have to call it genocide. It absolutely fits this definition.
My
No
gosh,
trans activist
Sondsol.
is operating on the level of the UN. We're operating
There are no fucking trans advocacy groups out there right now saying that there is a trans genocide. This
Is
is
that
a pure
so?
Bosch orbiter fucking thing.
on the level of
Vash,
and what we have going
there is no such thing as a Vosh orbiter, first of all. Second of all, citation needed, please.
states wherein
Again.
intent and examples of current laws that are doing this. Thank you very much, worshiper of the Olympians.
Absolutely is. How could it not be? No, it
Oh,
absolutely
wait.
is. For trans people, they
I wonder if the person that subbed
Wow.
the champion of the Olympians is the Hellenic polytheist that came at me during the vampire arc. That's because Politics for Life does not want to change his mind. He
What?
just wants to come in here and schizopost.
want to kill us. They
So legislators
want
right
to
now-
kill us. Yes. How do you not know this? Yes, they do. They want to make it unlivable. That's what they did in Germany.
He's imposing his own private rules with no justification as to why we should care about them. I mean, I think he's inferring intent and declaring it benevolent. Yeah.
Why do you think that okay, you guys saw the Trump rally that we watched the other day, right? Where they were screaming about how groomers are coming for your kids?
Yeah.
They don't discriminate between which trans people are the good ones and which are the bad. They're all
Say what you will about me, but you cannot say that I'm unwilling to change my mind because my political opinions have shifted so fucking severely over the course of this streaming that you would not recognize me. Watch my old fucking videos
You used
where I
to
say
be-
retarded fucking shit about socialism
You used to
on my
be...
YouTube. I left them up so that later on in my life I can look at the.
Or
the
you
character
used to
growth
be
that I've had. I'm
worse?
a literal fucking like subhumanly unintelligent fucking socialist to who I am now. All right.
I'm unintelligent. I don't know how much has changed when it comes to that, okay? Let's not go that far, right? Like, It doesn't seem like that much has changed when it comes to the intelligence
Rumors
part.
that are dangerous to your children.
I'm
And what are
sorry
you
to
supposed
say.
do as a good, upstanding Republican, protect your children using your, what's the other thing they're obsessed with? The Second Amendment, using your guns. You should protect your children using your guns. That's what Republicans are saying at all times. And yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene has literally, I could go on about this forever. Yes, I could go on about Marjorie Taylor Greene and the fact that she went on a popular news, one of the most popular news shows in the entire country, and talked about how she would have her husband beat up a trans person for the crime of being at the same summer camp as her daughter. Have you ever debated a fascist? I'm not saying this to be antagonistic. I'm legitimately wondering. Yes, I have debated a fascist. I debated Big Papa Fascist on trans rights, actually. So
He's not a literal
Dear Mama, Big
fascist.
Papa Fascist. You'll find that debate.
Papa.
It's on my channel.
Many Jews died by suicide because life became unlivable. That was part of the plan to get them to at least emigrate, to kill themselves before they started to come up with before they realized that solution wasn't going to be sufficient. Like, you have to look. They're not going to say our goal is to kill trans people. You have to infer intent from their actions. And to be honest, they are being more than clear to the average
Well,
person
that's
who's
why,
watching
and again,
what their intent is.
with what happened
True.
with what happened in Germany, again, like that's why the genocidal intent, and scholars will say this, you could say the build up to the genocide was all the way from the 30s up until 41, but until 41, the proof of genocidal intent, you would say legally or like to the definition, wasn't there. The orders came from 41 onwards. That's the whole discussion. Yeah.
So you're saying
No.
Germany?
Okay, this is so stupid. He can't be this stupid.
True. And yet he is.
The Nazis were using stochastic attempts. They were promoting the Nazis were promoting from the highest levels of government anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and the idea that hidden among the populace were anti-German Jewish people. They were doing this all along. It wasn't just because they took full power in 1941. They were doing the same thing the GOP is doing now. They just weren't in power yet.
There no. Oh my gosh, she literally has no fucking clue what she's talking about, does she?
Do you?
They
Do
didn't take
you?
power until 1941? The Nazis in Germany? World War II didn't start in 1941.
Nobody said that.
Ah, fuck, dude. People listen to her and take her opinion seriously.
Oh,
I'm
people
not a-
listen to
I'm not a
you.
fucking historian, okay?
People
But
listen to
what was it,
you.
1930, it was like the early or mid-30s when the Nazis took power, right? And then in 1938, or was it 1939, they invaded Poland and World War II officially... Yeah, they took power in 33. World War II...
That, again, by his logic, nothing is systemic racism because none of the laws targeting people of color explicitly say it. This is the argument fascists use to deny systemic racism. That tracks. He argued in the President Sunday debate that the U.S. didn't genocide black people after slavery started. He thinks BPF isn't actually a fascist. Yeah, he does. I mean, he's like a arbiter of destiny. So, like, you know. Yeah. And mind you, President Sunday basically explained the genocide of black people to him like you would explain it to a child, and he still didn't get it, you know? He still did not get it. Like, ridiculous.
started in 39.
Just silly stuff.
Has reached the conclusion that there was no intention to exterminate the Jews of Europe before 1941. Huh. Yeah, but it wasn't a world war until those Germans did their thing, you know?
What?
Holy shit, man! This is so disappointing.
It is
Extremely
disappointing.
Sentiment exists in Germany for decades. Yes, and in the government as well. Nuts. The intent. Yeah, exactly. You're 100% right on this.
Was not guilty of genocide until 1941.
Of the crime of genocide, they would
Yeah, they were exactly. Thank you. Jessica Metal says they were pushing for the Kristallnacht for months before it actually happened. The burning. Hold on.
The thing is, like, Kristallnacht, there were things like that happened in the United States, but nobody's saying that the African Americans were being genocided in the United States. What we had the what is it called? The Black Wall Street. I can't remember what city it happened in. Black Wall Street got firebombed.
They were definitely being genocided by slavery, yeah.
Really, really fucking upsetty spaghetti, okay? Nobody's calling that a fucking genocide because that right there isn't genocide. It's the intent to destroy, in whole or part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group.
Hold on a second.
President Sunday explained this to
One second, I
you.
wanted to get this date. The first large. Okay,
You
just so
didn't
all
get
know,
it, but
the Nazi book burnings. The first of the Nazi book burnings happened in 1933.
What does that matter?
So in 1933, 7 years before what Loaderbox is saying here, the stochastic.
okay, he's gone. There's nothing but a lip of his head in the sand. Yeah.
Book burnings aren't genocide.
1933 was the first Nazi book burning.
See, I would like you to. He looks at individual acts and he says, this one individual act is not genocide. Genocides are not individual acts. Genocides are combinations of acts that create a full picture. You idiot. Like what? Like, I don't know what to say to this. That someone says, unironically, book burning is not genocide. Nobody is saying that it is. Like, you're just being stupid on purpose. Like, I don't know what to say to you. This is frustrating. Like, Lucy's frustrated. And as you know, Lucy's like a giggler. Lucy does not get frustrated all that much, you know? Let's go point by point, buddy. Come on. I'm so frustrated.
Jewish literature took precedence. The burning of Jewish literature took precedence over everything else.
I'm
German
frustrated.
proclaimed a nationwide action against the un-German spirit, which was to climax a literary purge or cleansing by fire. Local chapters
Stochastic
of the
genocide,
German
a term
student
no one's
union
ever said before in their life.
instructed to supply the press with releases and commissioned articles, to sponsor well-known Nazis to speak at public gatherings, and to negotiate for
Okay,
radio
I'm
broadcast
skipping
time.
forward until she plays the
This is
video again.
Now,
Just do it, yeah.
what the fuck,
No,
man?
no, they were building up
all
to
right.
it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're
It's like pretty. I'll just do it. Yeah, it's not
Jesus
disputed.
Christ. Okay, all right. So
Why? Wait, why is
All right.
that? Why is that so?
I think we're
alarming
done
to
then.
you?
Because
Wait, wait,
because,
wait,
because you're not going to be there saying the rights. Like, imagine in like 1934 or 1935 in Germany, where the Nazis are obviously passing laws to make life impossible. They're making Jews unable to participate in normal life.
Yeah.
Loanerbox is saying, hey, it's not a genocide. I don't see the intent for there to be genocide here. I have to wait until they're carting people off to camps, and then I will call it a genocide. What the fuck is your point then? You know, like, you cannot be trusted. to stand up.
Sondsol is like,
You're going to be the person who says, oh, that was wrong later.
Oh yeah, by the way,
what a
it's
character.
really funny. It's really funny that it's really disappointing and funny that Loaderbox has taken this position. So there was a film that we watched part of on my stream that was written by, once again, Magnus Hirschfeld, an amazing guy. It was a film called Different from the Others. It was a German melodrama that was produced during the Weimar Republic, and it was released in 1919. Yeah, the
Weimar?
release was in 1919, and it was a movie about
Yeah, Weimar Republic.
about a gay man being extorted because one of his neighbors saw him kissing his lover. So him and his lover were in a park and they kissed, and one of the neighbors extorted him for it, and he ends up dying at the end of the thing. It's like a really he kills himself because his career gets ruined because his neighbors extort him. This movie came out in 1919, and it came out in response, by the way, to the fact that homosexuality was made a criminal offense in Germany.
That was 1919. That was before the Nazis got
It
power.
was a provision to the German.
That's not the point. That's not the point of Demon Mama's story. Like, is genocide in Germany only when Nazis do it? Is that seriously the argument that he's making? Genocide is only when Nazis do it?
How can you take all of these examples before things like actually became genocide, or before the Nazis even came into power, not know when the Nazis came into fucking power in Germany, and then like position yourself as someone who likes to like debate and destroy Nazis? How can you not know a single fucking thing about the historical fucking Nazi party and fucking...
So genocide is only when Nazis do it. Got it. When a genocide happens before Nazis took power, then it cannot possibly be genocide because the Nazis did not take power yet. Got it. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Genocide is only possible when Nazis do it. Got it. Okay. Makes sense to me. Like, I think this argument speaks for itself. I don't think we need to...
talk about them so goddamn much.
Wow.
Nazis to Demon Mama are just people that she doesn't like. She has no fucking clue. 1919.
Wow.
When was the Nazi Party even like around? Was it around in 1919?
The point is not the Nazi Party. You dunce, you baboon. The point is, and I will explain it because I do know history, that the formation of the German nation state came with anti-Semitism, eugenics, racism against Slavic people, homophobia, and many other things that basically led to the formation of the Nazi Party. Many of those beliefs formed together with the formation of the German nation state. So it makes perfect sense that certain moves to genocide even certain groups started already in 1919. Why? Because the ideological foundation was already there. The ideological foundation was laid when the German nation state was formed. Read a book. Read a book, Sondsol. How can you not know that people don't take power out of the blue, and there are things that lead up to these moments? Because people do not care. It's like a game of making content and making money for them. They do not care to learn about these things. They just don't. They just choose to confidently speak about things they have no clue about and then get money for it. Ridiculous. Read a book. I actually have
I
read
can't
a
show
book.
the symbol right there. But between 1920, the fucking film came out before the party was even fucking founded.
There we go. There we have it. The least smart destiny orbiter, everybody. The least smart destiny orbiter. Like, I'm dumbfounded. I'm hoping I have explained this more or less satisfactory. Like, why this is relevant. Yeah, yeah, of course. History is broken down into discrete levels like a video game, yeah. Like many people say this, you know. Like, Demon Mama's all about the Nazis. How can she possibly talk about things that happened before the Nazis even came to power? What is this argument?
Criminal code, by the way, that law happened in 1871, which criminalized homosexuality. And by the way, it was a part of the German criminal code until 1994. Until 1994.
Were they still Nazis in 94?
Do people need qualifications?
Are you an idiot? Are you a literal idiot? Like, genocide and discrimination can only happen when Nazis. Like, are you for real? Are you for real right now, Sondsol? Like, you cannot be saying this seriously. You're trolling right now. Like, I do not believe that you're saying this seriously. Like, I refuse to believe you're saying this seriously. I do not believe you when you say that. Like, asking if the Nazis were in power till 1994 asking that just makes you look like an idiot. I don't...
No, you just have to be interesting. You have to be interesting and have an interesting topic. That's all. All right, let's continue.
Wrap
the
this
fuck
over.
was that?
But that's not what we need.
Okay, first of all, when camps were opening, yeah, there was plenty of evidence saying that we're building up to a genocide in Tuesday. Again, I just so you know, for my take on Germany,
camps?
I think the Allies should have intervened when the first camp opened, before the annexation. So no,
Yeah, but
actually,
you
I'm
were-
very for intervening as quickly as possible when that happens. I think that every government in the Allied states were too slow, okay? So no, I don't know why you think just because I'm contesting you on terminology means you think I'm less...
Well, how can you be fast if you react after it had already happened?
about stopping the problem. I don't know why you think that.
Well, because
Because you're
Because-
shoehorning.
what?
What?
Because you're shoehorning, right?
He's really
Because
defensive.
I'm not using the same terminology
Why is he so defensive?
What does that
Loaderbox,
mean?
Is Loaderbox usually this weird and defensive?
as you.
No,
I feel
he's
like
How can he not grasp that Demon Mama is describing a particular kind of logic that isn't exclusive to a particular group? Because either he is dishonest and uneducated, or he's just not very smart. And from what I have seen of Sondsol, I am sadly inclined to believe that he's just not very smart. Maybe it's a combination of being dishonest and not very smart. Like I have even explained this a few seconds ago. Like this sort of logic was a thing that came to be with the formation of the German nation state. Also, welcome to this stream, Sulplur.
got very reasonable reasons for it.
Your unwillingness to sort of.
You're shoehorning me to say that the only reason he won't use the language I do is because he doesn't care as much as I do.
You don't. Well, I wouldn't say care. You're just denying the extent of the problem.
Well, it's just that you even said they are intending to kill them.
maybe he's a little bit defensive because his fucking partner is trans, and you
What?
implying that he's an evil, hateful, anti-trans person. doesn't
No.
even believe in this incredibly fucking loose definition of genocide.
There's nothing loose about
The
it.
United States did to the Native Americans. That was genocide. All right. I think that most people agree at this point that that was genocide.
At this point.
But was what we did to African Americans genocide? No.
Yes.
It was still bad. Everybody-
Yes, it was.
something to be bad and still
Yes, it was. Yes, it was, you dummy. Absolutely was. Yeah, hard to know what is or isn't going on in someone's brain, but it's hard not to see this is a malicious ignorance. Yeah, like read a book. Like this is exactly what I really want to focus my content a lot on history, like to take away people's excuse to be saying such ridiculous things. Like we can easily like prepare a nice segment or a pre-made video like that would explain why what Demon Mama was saying about 1919 to 1994 makes perfect sense, and Nazis did not have to be around till 1994 for it to make perfect sense. We can easily like make a very nice segment or pre-made video about it, and I think I will. Let's do
will
it.
not be a genocide. There's more bad things in the world than genocide.
And
So,
I'm
so
Also like this stream and maybe consider becoming a Patreon.
would you say attempted genocide is going on? Would you accept that? There's an attempted genocide, and if you're willing
Not
to agree to that,
yet.
why not just say genocide?
Not yet.
no, I don't think what's happening. I don't think legislators are attempting a genocide. I don't think they're
Okay,
trying
okay,
to
see,
kill trans people. I don't think
you don't
that's
get. Okay, yeah, see, that's the problem.
That's the problem. You don't agree with
Okay.
me.
If you don't,
Yeah,
acknowledge
that is the
there's
problem.
attempted genocide, you are
You're insane.
You are just
You
wrong.
are insane, Deepin Mama. You are insane, poly people.
just wrong. Like there are states right now.
Oh yeah, they're so insane. Very nice, very nice. Maybe she's invented this because she is trans, yeah. But you know, no, they're just insane, yeah, of course.
attempting-
It's just
Alabama
insane.
attempted to criminalize
So
all
insane.
here. Not just for minors, all. But don't say, oh my god, man, what the hell? Yeah, you're either living under a rock or you're being transphobic. Wow, damn it, nuts. Why you gotta be based so frequently?
Like, so insane. Insanity.
This was published This was published in the UK where Loaderbox is. NHS. Most children who think they're transgender are just going through a phase. This was a statement from the NHS. What the, oh fuck you, man, fuck this shit. Can I get the full thing? I want to see who quoted that. I want to see what the full quote is. Who said that? Doctors told not to encourage young people to change their names and pronouns. That's an internal memo. That's so fucked up. What the fuck?
Don't get it. Okay, how about this? Maybe they're not. Their purpose is not to kill trans people. It would just be a
Oh.
happy outcome.
Silent all of a sudden. Silent. You don't have anything to say to that, Sondsol? Nothing to add, nothing to comment? You seem really invested in this really serious topic that directly affects you, revealing that despite his claim to the contrary, this is a detached intellectual exercise for a loner box. Yeah, it is. And for, like, I'm gonna be honest, for Lonerbox, this is just a detached intellectual exercise, and for Sondsol it's just a grift. Like for Sondsol, like I'm willing to say that for Lonerbox this is like maybe like an intellectual exercise that is misguided, but for Sondsol this is just a grift. Okay, this is just a grift for money for him. I have liked and become a Patreon. I highly recommend it. Really? Let me check, okay? Let me check. SJW. I'm gonna check you, okay? I'm gonna check you quickly. Come on. Patreon. Where? I think Sondsol is just a grifter, to be honest. He doesn't care at all. Like a typical DGGer. Nice. Let me see. Calling them insane, of course, is kind of a patronizing. Certainly don't need to explain how that's related to the issue. Yeah, like what the hell? Calling trans people insane, like totally not done by far righters, right? Very nice, very nice. He has no clue what he's talking about.
I don't know. Because I mean,
Yeah,
when,
okay.
when I listen to the way conservatives speak, the way I hear conservatives speak is they will talk about is like they think because they believe the whole like social contagion bullshit, right? They believe that people become.
Oh yeah, they're just well-meaning people than those conservatives.
By the way, quick citation, just so people understand I'm not just making shit up. Here you go.
Like the 240 bills pushed just this year against trans people is just out of goodwill, you know. They are all well-meant bills.
This is from the Human Rights Campaign, an update on anti-trans legislation in Alabama. SB 184. This law would make it a felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison to provide gender-affirming care. At all. To provide any. Arkansas passed the only other gender-affirming care ban into law last year, and it was immediately
There's almost no way that this shit is constitutional, though.
challenged. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Arkansas.
Oh yeah,
passed that law.
because right-wingers care about constitution. Yeah.
Here you go. SB 184 also forces educators to out children to their parents.
And this is genocide.
This law bans K-12 students from using bathrooms in school facilities consistent with their gender identity.
No single thing is a genocide, you idiot.
Just
Like-
laws ban conversations about sex segregation and gender identity in classrooms K to 5, similar to the
Like this is really infuriating. Like I'm genuinely infuriating. Like
going through this and showing how wrong Lonerbox actually is right now.
They're worried about kids getting exposed to social contagion, and then because that social contagion makes them trans, that increases their suicide rate. And so they think they would say that they think that trans identity is what's killing kids, and they're very wrong about that.
oh yeah, they're just misinformed.
Let me remind you that they don't just call us. They don't just say it's a social contagion. They call us groomers. They believe that we.
Thank
we
you so
offend
much.
by grooming kids, by being predators. Do you think that they give a fuck whether we die if they believe that we are pedophiles and predators? Do you think that they would say no, those pedophiles?
I should throw in a link, okay? I will throw in a link. No? This is so ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna give you a link, okay? For anyone who wants to consider supporting me, there you go. Please consider like what is supporting me, and even $1 is a lot for me because the Polish currency is weaker than $1, and of course each pledge you make becomes what you call it, discount for my art every month.
And predators and groomers, they should live? Or does that sound to you like somebody that they're characterizing in a way so as to dehumanize us and thereby justify our deaths?
Is he coming?
Yeah, hey, what do you do?
Oh,
You're
thank you.
So much intent.
Huh? You know why they use that language? What do you do to a contagion? Do you cleanse or purge a contagion? Huh.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words.
Between groomers and kids.
Some of those people say the intent out loud, like Matt Walsh.
But I thought the legislation was blocking healthcare
What?
for kids. So they're not,
Why
they're
are
not
you
calling the
being
kids groomers
semantic
because
about
like,
what? Yes,
Because
it
the
doesn't
entire
matter,
debate
but-
is about
okay, well,
semantics.
maybe-
No, it's not.
No,
by the way,
I'm sure there's
Like, the debate is about semantics for people that have no skin in the game, that do not care. Like, this is about semantics for those sort of people. Like, it's not about semantics for me. Like, not in the slightest.
Percifer says, my question is, when does repression of a group become genocide of that group? Jews, LGBTQ people, etc. have been repressed for a long time. Does that count as an ongoing genocide?
Are black people being genocided in the United States? Have they not been like ultra fucking persecuted? I don't like
Yeah, they have.
give an answer.
Funny that.
Yes. Yes. I think that to this day we still have an ongoing genocide of native peoples in America. Yes. I think people want genocides to be
Yeah.
tiny contained things and not acknowledge the fact that they are
Happening
never
every
never
single
actually,
day, everywhere, all the time.
overcome them.
Yeah, they are. They are.
This is a very clear sign of
I know you may not like to hear this, but yeah, they are. They literally are. And because of people like you, those things are being downplayed and nothing is being done about it. You want to talk about crazy quote unquote people that cause harm? People like you downplaying genocide. That's one thing. Nothing's being done about this because people like you just downplay it.
AIDS
Grifters like
for
you.
no reason at all. For not even for no reason. Literally, information that it was known that it was not a disease that targeted gay people. It was known how to prevent it, and that information was held back by the government. Oh my God, it is so bad. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
Nazis-
What does that have to do with
hold on.
I'm getting so fucking frustrated.
Why would you?
Yeah, because you're stupid.
If you believe that they believe that we're groomers and predators toward kids, why would you find it hard to accept that they want us to die, or that they would be perfectly
I think-
fine
I
if they
think-
thought we would die?
Yeah, because if they think you're guilty of like a crime of grooming, does that mean everyone who's pro death penalty is like genocidal?
Okay, you are being you're being far too obtuse. Of course not. Pro death penalty is different from being pro death penalty for a group of people. They're pro. They are pro death penalty for trans adults. We'll say, which is
Okay.
genocide.
And again, it's not genocide until like, I don't think you would say
Okay, they haven't killed
like,
off enough of us
death penalty
yet.
to trans people, right?
What? Say that
Okay, so
again?
just out of interest, so do you think? So are you telling me within the next 5-10 years we're going to see any attempt at legislation to give the death penalty to trans adults?
They don't have.
Demon Mama is absolutely right about the contagion. There is a reason people associate the by politics of liberal societies with eugenic logics. Yeah, like
You don't have to do that. Obviously, in 10 years, who fucking knows? It's certainly possible.
Hold on, go back.
But they don't.
Pro death penalty is different from being pro death penalty for a group of people. They're pro. They are pro death penalty for trans adults. We'll say, which is
Okay.
genocide.
And again, it's not genocide until like, I don't think you would say
Okay, they haven't killed off enough of
death
us
penalty
yet.
to trans people, right?
What? Say that
Okay,
again?
so just out of interest, so do you think? So are you telling me within the next 5-10 years we're going to see any attempt at legislation to give the death penalty to trans adults?
They don't have.
You don't have to do that. Obviously, in 10 years, who fucking knows? It's certainly possible. But they don't have to do that. That's not the way politics is done now. Donald Trump.
They don't have to do that. They don't have to do. They don't have to actually do anything for it to be a genocide. We just have to like assume their intentions behind all of their actions, and we can call it a genocide. Holy shit!
do I even need to comment on this? Like, this is such a brainless thing to say that I don't like. Though, do you? It's okay.
Children, they're gonna get you. You better get your guns and go take care of them. And then, provided that the ferocity of this campaign continues, which, by the way, let's just have a quick reality check, okay? Because I did this earlier before I even knew we were gonna I had no plans to
Okay.
review this. Earlier today, I wanted to use this this.
All
Okay,
right.
real quick. All right. Take a look at this, okay? Matt Walsh. Just searching Matt Walsh on YouTube. 1.83 million subscribers. Here's a video in which stand up for your kids because they are under attack. Okay, here's all these. Here's the first non-him videos are him giving speeches about trans people. Our successful rally sends leftist goblins into fits of satanic hysteria. And if you look at the picture, the rally was called the Rally to End Child Mutilation.
Hope they included circumcision in there, but
Like,
they
dude,
didn't.
what do you like? Let's just a reality check.
I've heard so many people react to this convo now. It's exhausting that this blew up into the discourse that it did. Thanks, Lonerbox. Like, I've seen this debate like 3 times now or more. You know? Also, the most embarrassing thing about Sondsol is that He is supposed to be a political commentator. Like he's supposed to be well informed. I live on the other side of the globe in Poland, and I am more well informed on trans issues in the US than he is. Like, this is super embarrassing.
Here, the most popular right-wing figures are literally trying to mobilize their base on ending child mutilation. Your children are being attacked. You need to act now. Do you guys remember when we just the other day watched that Tucker Carlson segment where he's screaming about how about the fake big titty teacher and how he was like, you need American patriots need to stand up because they're coming for your children. They're coming for your children.
Yeah,
They're coming
exactly.
For your children. Remember that? We just watched this the other day. Just needed a reality check moment because I think Loaderbox is talking straight out of his ass.
Because they will make life
Yep.
uncomfortable. At some point, if things keep going, sure, they will cart us off. Like that will happen. It won't just be trans people. It'll be just like any other sort of fascist movement if it gets to that point. But it will be step by step, just like these things always happen. And you will be, what I fear is people like you will be, each step that's taken, you will be able to distinguish in your mind why this step is not the same as, the other things that are,
Yeah.
that you think are.
I think Poly People is being correct here.
Why don't you just ask him what would be his line? At what point would you call it a genocide?
She asked that question many, many times. Are you deaf? She's been asking that throughout this whole conversation. Are you serious? Did you really just say that? After all those times when Poly People asked, at what point will you agree that it's a genocide? Are you deaf? Like, what's happening here? Are you listening to the same thing? Have you been paying attention to any of this? I'd personally rather have that than for liberals to halt his belief without pushback. There is a chance that the discourse moves some viewers of it. That's true. Like, has this donkey been listening to any of this? Like, Poly People has asked Loaderbox several times. At which point does it become a genocide? She asked this question.
Why
What?
don't you just ask that? Because that seems
She
like
did!
the bullshit, doesn't it?
She did, you donkey.
If she's saying that he'll never accept that it's a genocide, then probably at some point you should
What?
ask at what point it is. Yeah?
What?
Just want to hear people like
Are
this,
you
know,
okay?
say, well, this is not the same. The worst hasn't happened yet, so therefore I'm not going to call what's going on.
Okay, so usually when this topic comes up, and I operate in the UK, so usually when this topic comes up, I see like there's anti-trans legislation. In America, where I live in the UK, the anti-trans legislation is like they basically have used a loophole to make puberty blockers like completely inaccessible for.
I want to point this out, okay?
Oh
This
my
is a
God,
top tier
please
tweet.
just let
I
the
retweeted this
fucking
tweet the
video
other day, but
play.
boy, oh boy, is this relevant. The primary role of liberalism over the next 30 years will be to obstruct the left from preventing the right from taking power, and then blaming us when the right takes power. Is that not like exactly what we're watching in this conversation? The primary role.
Demon Mama's not just stealing a video, you dunce. She's reacting to it. She's not re-uploading it for you to just watch it. What do you mean, just let the video play?
Over. Well, so you shouldn't. It's pathetic.
If
She's doing her job.
It's pretty fun. And I think what I'll usually say is I'll be like, this is really urgent. I think if anyone wants to engage in activism, if that's their thing, because there's lots of people who come to me like, I want to get involved. I'll probably say like, well, Stonewall, really good organization to volunteer for. Mermaids, all these organizations want volunteers. A lot of them are involved in fighting the legislation. Going to, I don't know how it works over there, but the way it comes is like with councils, you can lobby and you can write letters, you can visit your local MP, you can talk about it in all these different ways. At what point? But I guess if it's a genocide, that action is insufficient. Then is it? What should I do? What more should I do?
You should at least be willing to call it.
Wait, hold on. This is a weird direction. He's being super defensive here. What more should I do? Well, call it a genocide. Call it what it is, dude. Don't fucking split
Agree
hairs
with
trans
me.
people
Agree
tell
with me,
you
or
that
you're
this is
being
an attempt
defensive.
genocide,
Agree with
and
me, or
there
you're
are
being
ongoing
defensive. Agree with me, or
aspects
you're
of
being
it.
defensive.
No one's
Yeah,
asking
yeah, that's exactly what's being said. Agree with me, or you're being defensive.
Push back
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
harder. Just a little bit harder against transphobia. Just a little harder. A little bit of rip and tear.
On one side will say that a slippery slope doesn't exist, only to then say that a slippery slope exists. You can point that just the other way as well. All right, like whenever they say like there's no like harm, like we're only helping people when we make it to where they can't fucking transition. That's obviously not fucking true, because trans people have a higher quality of life after transitioning, right? Like they say that there's no slippery slope on denying healthcare. Why is like they also accept no compromise on this, because there is a slippery slope. I'll say it. There is a slippery slope with how far we can go with trans-affirming healthcare, right?
Of
Only a
course.
lunatic would say that there is no slippery slope. You can permanently hurt someone, permanently like change their body in a way that they might not want to be in a couple of years, right? Which is why we should have safeguards in place.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We should have safeguards in place. We should want the best for all people.
Citation
But
needed.
you can't say that you want the best for all people while denying trans people legitimate fucking health care. Because you don't want what's best for all people. You want what's best for people that you like kind of think are like normal people. And then
What?
after that, like, okay, well then like I guess we can try and throw these other people a fucking bone, I guess.
What?
A genocide.
Wait, what?
At least, if I don't call it genocide, what? I'm insufficient.
Well, you are not
You-
accepting.
what?
the truth of what's going on.
Hey, everybody, have you considered writing a letter to oppose the law that will ban you from getting health care? Have you considered writing?
Was this?
But you're saying you were going by arbitrary
What?
decisions, because I don't think you were having a go.
Did I hear this correctly?
Appreciate it if cis people would,
We should have safeguards in place.
What did I?
The best for all people.
Bro,
But you can't say that you want
Yeah,
the best for
no.
all people while denying trans people legitimate fucking health care. Because you don't want what's best for all people.
Sondsol, why didn't you just watch Box's video if it bothers you? Oh, that's right. He didn't post this L to his YouTube, yeah.
You want what's best for people that you like kind of think are like normal people, and then after that, like, okay, well then like I guess we can try and throw these other people a fucking bone, I guess.
A genocide.
That's at least, if I don't call it genocide, what? I'm insufficient.
Well, you are not accepting the truth of what's going on.
hey, everybody, have you considered writing a letter to oppose the law that will ban you from getting health care? Have you considered writing?
True.
Look,
But you're saying you were going by arbitrary definitions, though, because I don't think you were having a go at me for using the legal definition
okay,
earlier.
look. Do you just not accept that they're trying to, or that they would be happy if trans people either went back into the closet or died? Do you take issue with that characterization of the?
I think
of
there's
what's
some
No,
going on?
you can protect people from choices. Yeah, you absolutely can.
What?
You can protect
sounds
them
so-
by adding punishments, right? You can say like we're protecting people from drunk driving
What?
by, making it socially stigmatized and imposing harsh laws on people who drive under the influence, right?
Or yeah, choosing what to do with your body is the same as drunk driving. Oh yeah, that's a perfect example. That's a perfect comparison, Sondsol. What exactly is the purpose of deploying this argument in this time is the interesting question. Yeah.
Protecting both that person and society as a
Yeah.
whole, right? Now you're not going to be able to 100% keep people from doing it, right? You're never going to be 100% capable. As long as they are informed, they should have the right to make them. They do have the right to make them.
Well, no, if you ban them,
But
then
children
no.
don't have that right. That's the entire fucking argument. Children don't have the ability to give informed consent. This is why pedophilia is bad. Because they don't have the ability to consent.
Oh yeah, you're gonna bring
You
pedophilia
cannot
into
like,
it.
convince a child. You can't like tell a child like their options medically and then have them give informed consent because they can't give it. They are too young.
Yes, they can. Children can give consent to many medical procedures, actually. Like, that's not true at all. Children can give consent to many medical procedures. That's one. I have actually looked into it while arguing with a person about it. In many states, children can give consent to medical procedures. That's one. And two, the right-wingers want to ban everyone from trans healthcare, not just kids, adults as well. So that's so yeah.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
But there's some legislators who I think are definitely happier with the closet thing, but not because they're trying to kill trans people. It's because they think it's like a mental disorder, right? That's,
Oh, that makes it so much
Out
better.
of the public eye. You do
So
that
yeah,
because you don't think
they want to ban everyone, not just children but adults as well. That protects other people, Sondsol. That's why the law is justified to prevent the victims of drunk driving. Yeah, exactly.
by them. You don't
Like,
believe
he's such a
forcing
dunce.
the closet is trying to kill them.
I
So-
told you, he knows nothing, and he speaks about everything with such confidence.
Saying like, ooh, homeless people are so unsightly. Don't you wish we could just get rid of them? Like, what do you mean by get rid of them? What do you think the goal of putting somebody in the closet is? What do you think the
I
goal
gotta
of
skip
passing
past. I just
laws
want to hear what
mine?
Lonebuck says.
issues is
Fuck.
that's their rationale.
Good
And
night,
the reason I
everyone.
get pedantic about that difference is because the way you approach both of those issues is very different. One of them, I think that the former one, because they
Oh no, is he about to do the rose wrist thing? Is he about to do the rose wrist thing? Where he goes, if I admit that it's a genocide, then I have the responsibility to act more fiercely. To rip and tear. And I don't want to think that I'm at the point in history where I should be considering ripping and tearing. Oh man,
are
Dude.
stupid and uninformed and have bad research. Well, the way you respond to that is the way I think I advocate for it. If people getting involved in pressure groups, in charities, in lobbying, in going to meetings, and lobbying MPs, protesting, civil, things that you do within a liberal democracy, things that are just actionable. If you think the legislators do this because they want to kill the trans people, then the way you respond to that is, well, what would you do? What would you do if the Nazis took power? You wouldn't oppose Jewish militias trying to.
What would you do if the Nazis took power? What would you do if your country was rapidly descending into fascism in the midst of absolutely horrendous economic fallout because of a plague, and the fascists were getting louder, and were targeting trans people, and were advocating for laws that would kill trans people, and lots of other people, including Jewish people? Wow, anti-Semitism is back on the rise too. What would you do? What would you do? There you go, rip and tear. That's what you do. By any vote necessary.
Assassinate Nazi politicians, right? So
You said it.
I
Not
don't know,
me.
if you're calling it genocide, then why are you not trying to get legislators killed? It's self-defense.
Well, I'm not. I would never talk about that.
Damn, Loaderbox CIA arc.
Oh my fucking god. Twitter right now.
What? Oh,
I can't escape.
is he really gonna show us like his Twitter beefs? Like, is this serious? For real? Can you not edit this out of your videos, please?
No, tweet. I can call someone a motherfucker on Twitter. That's what Twitter's for, calling people motherfuckers.
Why is this in the video? Why? I don't care.
Motherfuckers.
Is he a Fed?
I think
You wouldn't talk about it. But
well, I wouldn't do.
I don't
wouldn't do
care.
anything like that. Like, that's,
I gotta skip through this. I just want to hear what person who I agree with said. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Interesting, huh?
What?
Oh wait, hold on. What did he say? Sorry, I got sent a.
Might come after you. That's a big concern.
This is a clip that
That's
Zonia
between
sent
Beckett
me.
and Sonia. Like Beckett, you're fourth from the throne, right? I think number 5 might come after you. That's a big concern. And
Yeah, it
Sonia,
is.
I mean, I'm a big Vosh
Right.
fan, so I'm assuming that the genocide is right around the corner, and you're gonna be the first to go. So it could be either of them, right? That coalition is pretty anti anyone who makes spicy tier lists, right?
That's pretty rational, yeah. If you're
Okay, I'm calling it. This is a public humiliation
first,
thing.
yeah,
This is a king
makes
thing.
sense that you
Yeah.
reason out that I would probably be one of the first to go. Yeah, the anti-trans, anti-LGBT genocide is absolutely waiting to as a tide to overtake us. But well, actually, no, because I'm a pick-me, right? So I'm safe
Yeah, you'll
until
make it through.
all the other trans people have to die first. Then I die.
Yeah, we'll keep you.
That's why I'm a pick.
I love Zonia. She is so funny.
Ha ha ha. So funny humor.
My man, what?
logical conclusion, right?
Say it again.
Jewish people. Wow, anti-Semitism.
So funny humor.
What would you do? What would you do?
Mm-hmm.
There you go, rip and tear. That's what you do.
What the fuck?
By any vote necessary.
Assassinate Nazi politicians, right? So
You said it.
I don't
Not
know,
me.
if you're calling it genocide, then why are you not trying to get legislators killed? It's self-defense.
Well, I'm not. I would never talk about that.
Damn, Loaderbox CIA arc. Is he a Fed?
I think
You
that's.
would talk about it. But
well,
How is he a Fed? He's fucking British. He's British. He has the unfortunate
I'm not.
status as being a fucking Brit bonger.
I'm not
Why
even
the fuck
gonna
would you say
comment.
that? A Fed.
I'm
That's,
not.
that's like a pretty logical conclusion because you're saying, what would you say to Jews in 1930s Germany as they ramped up the steps to genocide? Well, if you're saying that they should have assassinated Nazi politicians in the ramp up to your genocide, why would you not be advocating for that? If you truly think that this is happening, but you don't truly think that this is happening, you think that really bad things are happening to trans people. That's what you think. And that's true. Bad things are happening to trans people.
Oh,
But if you're not willing to extend
you're gonna read everybody's mind. Nobody really believes in the genocide. Okay.
exact same
Okay.
fucking statements about the Jews in Nazi Germany to yourself, are you really being genocided?
No
Why are you not
comment.
saying that? Oh yeah, trans people should be arming themselves and going out and killing politicians and killing conservatives.
No comment.
Because that is exactly what you're saying people ought to be
No
doing.
comment. No.
Well, I wouldn't do any. I would personally not do anything like that. Like that's
Yeah,
not
you just
something
want
I-
other people to fuck up
that's-
their own lives,
that's
go to
not-
jail, and just ruin everything, just because, and actually probably fuck the movement even more. But that's the
Whoa! Whoa! What?
What?
My man, what?
logical conclusion, right?
Damn.
It,
This is
I mean,
so
it
disappointing.
is. How is that not?
He's legit saying he can't acknowledge an ongoing genocide because if he did, he would have to be okay with trans people fighting back. Yeah, and then he's going above and beyond to mock.
Wait. So do you think that they should be going out and killing fucking feds or not? Is it mocking them if it's something that they should be doing.
And he called her a Posendi.
To mock her, even for something she didn't even say, for something he said. Bro, this is
Showing us someone owning him on Twitter. What a W, yeah.
pathetic, man.
God, I fucking
Oh,
hate these
gosh.
people. They are legitimately.
break out the
I
worst.
know you hate us. I
They're
know you
literally
hate.
the worst fucking thing that could have happened to trans people. They're like Demon Mama and Polly. Literally the worst fucking like.
Oh yeah,
advocates for
yeah,
that group.
yeah. Oh
There
yeah.
is no worse fate.
You are the
for
best
trans people than
advocate.
having these people be their advocates.
Oh,
Holy
yeah,
fucking
you're
shit.
the best
Can you
advocate.
fucking imagine being a normie fucking trans person and then hearing this shit? while you're just
Normie
like,
trans
oh man, I just
person.
wish I could afford HRT.
Normie trans
What
person.
fucking losers! It actually makes
Oh,
me fucking
yeah,
mad.
yeah, yeah.
There are people out there who have a fucking following who are going around and like making prescriptions about the world, telling people what like the truth is, and they're
Oh,
saying
yeah.
shit like this, actually making life more difficult for your average trans person.
No comment. No comment, Sondsol. No.
You want to look at the
Man.
reasons why life is becoming unlivable for trans people? It's because people like this are out there being
Oh, yeah,
advocates
yeah.
that are like going out and saying
Oh,
this
yeah, Demon Mama is single-handedly politicizing. She's basically forcing the hand of the far right. Like, Demon Mama basically forced the 240 bills to be pushed this year. Oh yeah, yeah. It's all if only we didn't have like crazy people like Demon Mama, like the Republican Party would probably not be transphobic at all. Yeah, yeah, of
is what
course.
trans people believe, when most trans people do not believe this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 900% sure.
Oh, nine-
1,000% sure.
Oh, yeah,
If I
the
ask
1
any
billion
trans women
%.
that are normies, that are not like terminally online, fucking
Oh, yeah,
loser
yeah.
leftists like this. Hey, do you think that there's a trans genocide going on right now? Zero of them would fucking say this shit.
Z minus 10.
Displeased. This is a bad show.
If someone has genocidal intent and is trying to action it gradually, they're fair game, right?
So I think you're now being unfair. You're painting me as somebody who is now trying to do the thing. You're saying now
What the fuck?
I'm trying to get, because I am calling something what it is. You're now saying that I'm trying to get people killed in the name of trans people. That's fucking ridiculous, my guy. I'm just trying to get you
Really?
to use a word that accepts the very risk to people like me that is out there right now. There's legislation being proposed. There's legislation being passed. There are children being taken away from their parents in the state of Texas because they are treating their
Didn't the bill that takes trans children away from their parents get shot down in Texas? Can someone confirm that for me?
kids for who they are. And you're saying if I call it a genocide, I am
I'm stuck
therefore
between-
Intent, you donkey. Intent. It's Demon Mama's fault that the Republicans introduced transphobia bills. Sondsol. Yeah, it's Demon Mama's and poly people's fault, of
why
course.
don't you now go out and kill people that are trying to kill me? Like I don't understand. Well, that's your standard, then I guess. There will never be a genocide because I'm always gonna be too afraid to fight back against the powers that be that are trying to get me. I would What if somebody like me would rather run and hide,
Like,
in a fucking attic somewhere? Does that make it not a genocide? Because other
hello,
Wait,
welcome.
so, wait,
gotta
so
know to
I can
click
assume you're saying then, so you
You
don't
gotta
want to be pigeonholed
I
into
can't run for too long
person
because
who
they'll hit me.
legislators. I'm just,
no,
Very
no,
cool.
saying no.
That's
Okay,
crazy,
you
dude.
asked me a question. You asked me a question. That's fine. You said no. Okay. Personally, I don't know. Jewish militias attacking like Nazi politicians. I wouldn't oppose that. But anyway, because that was like genocide. As for what's happening today, then where do we disagree?
Okay, I'm gonna take just a second here. What Loaderbox just did here was A, extremely dirty, and B, was fucking lame, my man. That was a fucking lame ass, weak ass play. Being like, hey, so if it's a genocide, don't you think that would you oppose Jewish militias? It's literally Fed posting. What he's trying to do is he's trying to get her to say something that could get her stream taken down. Which she never even said in the first place. All that she's been trying to do is say you should take this seriously. And then he goes, well, I would support the Jewish militia
True.
if real genocide was going on. But you're a fraud because you think a real genocide is going on and you don't support whatever bullshit he just made up. That was like one of the dirtiest approaches I've seen. That's very much
What do you mean it's dirty? It's the logical conclusion of her own
that's
fucking
characteristic
statements.
of a
No.
who engages in bullshit like this against trans people. Yes, it's literally what
Bullshit
Rosie
against
did
trans
wrong.
people, like
I don't
disagreeing
think
with
there's
them?
any surprise.
So I guess Einstein, who left Germany because he could see what was going on, that was just like I'm not even gonna comment on this. This is ridiculous.
That both Rosewrist and Loaderbox borrowed directly from the playbook of fucking Stinky Steve.
Then, if we're talking about, I guess you'd imagine the way to oppose this would
Dirty
be
shit.
lobby legislators, turn up to town hall meetings, I guess, in America, help with.
Oh fuck! I just thought of like the worst fucking tweet. I would actually get canceled. Oh, but I want to put it out so much. What is the name of that that trans woman that was like a super like all the transphobes bring her up? She like demanded that people give her a bikini wax in Canada or some shit like that, and who I
He says Demon Mama is that. He says Demon Mama is as bad for trans people as Jessica Yaniv. But if you go on Google Trans, Yaniv has actual searches, and Demon Mama is flat. Is a flat line on the graph. No one knows who Demon Mama is. Sondsol is so online-brained he thinks Twitter is the entire world. Yeah, I know. Which is actually, I have to say, unironically, that Demon Mama and poly people as well, they should be much bigger than they are. Like, we should be pushing them to be bigger. We should promote them. I will do my best to promote them on my end. They should be much bigger than they are. They deserve to be bigger than they are. That's the truth. They deserve much bigger audiences and much bigger success than they are seeing. I know Demon Mama has had like a big campaign against her and a break in streaming, but she should be just as big as Xandra at this point. Like this, yeah, this is the origins of that awful tweet. That's right. Like, Demon Mama should be just as big as Xandra, in my opinion. Take your own video advice, Sondsol. Just play the video. Yeah, I know, right? I know.
I can't remember her fucking name, but like she like
Yeah, I know you can't remember her name because you
Yeah,
can't
but-
remember anything.
oh fuck.
You don't remember anything. You don't know anything. You silly boob. Silly boob.
I don't even know if I should say it on stream. Never. Would it be bad if I? Would it be bad if I said Demon Mama and poly people are the worst? Or Demon Mama and poly people are the.
There you
being
go.
advocates
The
for trans
origin.
community.
The
Or being
origin.
Trans advocates are the worst thing to happen to the trans community since Jessica Yaniv.
This is like the origin of the
That would
tweet. There you
probably-
go.
That would probably be too nuclear.
The origin story.
Do
The pressure
everything you
groups are-
can within the law, as many people did within
Muted.
the law during previous genocide.
Thank you so much for the
Maybe
sub.
it won't be enough, but it's better than arguing with a pedantic
I am the
tone
greatest.
about whether or not a genocide is going on or not. Because
Well, you're the one that's telling
there
me
is
the
one going on,
problem with
dude.
me is the problem, but you're saying the problem with me is that I'm not calling it a genocide. Then it goes both ways. If the only bar I'm not crossing is calling it a genocide,
Well, I don't know.
What?
To
I'm
be fair,
using your
to be
level
fair-
of like your tone or what?
To be fair, I don't know much about your position on trans people, right? I saw
Okay.
your last video, even though I had critiques about it, but I didn't come away with the feeling like you didn't recognize the threat that exists to trans people until well, I guess this very moment. And now, like your sort of over reliance on, I'm not so sure, like a need for people to start dying before you're willing to call something or visibly dying in a way that you would recognize, as opposed to just dying invisibly. That's going on right now. Until you're willing to
tell you
acknowledge
very-
that there's
I
a
tell you very
genocide
clearly,
going on, or an intended.
Excellent question. Killjoy40k says, how do you stop genocide when the law is on the side of genocide? Lonerbox is acting like killing Jews was illegal in Germany, and the Germans just didn't do enough to stop them.
Super
At the
fucking
end of
true,
this segment,
Testicle
I
Johnson.
will have an interesting quote to read you. We're going to finish listening to this, and then I'm going to read you all a banger quote, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right? Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll wait. I'll read it at the end, okay? Trust me.
Genocide, at least.
Demon Mama is not harmless because I never ever
Oh,
ever
no.
saw the argument for trans self ID or gender self ID until Demon Mama and Dos started popularizing it.
Yeah, it
And
shows
then
how
it
much you
fucking
know,
spread like
to
a
be
cancer
honest.
around the fucking internet.
Like, shows how much you know about trans issues, to be honest. Demon Mama at least engages in intellectual investigation that is reason enough to promote her. Yeah, exactly. Demon Mama is a good creator. I'm looking forward to my talk with Demon Mama. It's gonna be like very nice. It's gonna be giggly, like a giggly, giggly boo.
Genocide. Say, for example, this is what justifies countries invading other countries. This is what justifies countries.
Come
bombing
on.
other countries. This is the justification that was given in Libya. They said that Gaddafi he had genocidal intent. He announced that he was going to genocide his own people, and then
Yeah, what are you? Are you the fucking Queen of England, my man? Are you the fucking President of England? Why do you give a shit what justifications a nation needs to invade another nation? That's not worth fucking talking about. you're a person talking to a trans person about whether or not there is genocidal action going on towards the group of the person you're
What
talking
the ACL? Link that to me, because I've never seen.
Yeah. Presupposing the self-ID is a dangerous ideology. This is fear-mongering, and it's also nonsensical. Like, let's be honest, self-ID makes the most sense. It makes the most sense. I'm gonna be 100% with you.
fucking
Gender
appealing to law,
self-ID
okay,
and the
I'm
way
reading
that they
this book
talk
now
about
because all of this law shit is getting on my nerves.
mentioned
Okay?
anywhere
Are
else.
you ready? Hold on. I'm going to read this. Hold on. I need to make this. Here you go. This is going to be for all of you. I'm going to re-add the red. Okay? Here we go. Hold on.
Mm.
Ready?
Fuck
I
off! I
know
don't
why
care
they
about
call me
this.
a thief. That's
You
what
don't
it
care
is.
about anything.
Thinking.
Country in the Human Rights Council, UN.
He is doing moral panic.
The reason they did
I
that, the reason
know.
no country in the Human Rights Council voted against it was because it was like genocide.
So,
right?
okay.
So when it
Pathologic becomes leftist theory. It is leftist theory. Okay? It is. It's so loaded with leftist ideas. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let's continue.
comes to domestically, the difference is that I
Let's say
have
there's
more
a-
radical than you now. I
alright,
think if there's a
hold on,
genocide happening, you should fucking like
Okay,
video game people
hold
doing
on,
the genocide.
hold on. Let's say that there was a genocide of trans people going on. Let's say like there was actually a genocide of trans people going on. What would you say then? Should a
100%
foreign government
Joe.
bomb the United States to try to stop the genocide? And if so, how would you do that?
Okay, let's say well, people said take up arms, right? Trans people take up
If
arms.
you can link it to me, Manic
when
Pixie,
it
that'd be
comes to
awesome.
yourself to prepare for the worst,
What, so
especially in
what-
the United States. So when it comes to say the
How is that gonna
genocide,
say
if there are state agents coming to people's
I'm
doors
actually
to
gonna
into conversion therapy or whatever else, then yeah, video game yourself with defense. Yeah, defense.
video game yourself.
So you're
all.
all right. Well, then I guess it doesn't matter because at that point it's not going to. The fact you would be only willing to acknowledge that it's a genocide in that case, where it would be obvious what the only action to do is. It'd be obvious then. The only thing you could do is defend yourself by force. Then I guess that's fine, but it's way too late. Which is why
Well, no, that's fine.
like
What do you mean it's too
already-
late?
Already heading toward that position.
Yeah.
Like, that is a very possible thing that could happen. It's already
It
happening.
means it's too late, you baboon.
But like what's going on is tantamount to the state
Too late is too late.
elimination of the lives of.
85 you Derek with the $5. It sounds like Motorbox is in denial because he's scared of the implications. He would be morally
Yeah.
obligated to give up his comfortable life and take action or accept that he's
Thank you,
a coward.
Manic Pixie.
True. Let's continue. Thank you.
True.
85 Derek.
Group of a cognizable group of people.
True.
Yeah, but
Come
you're telling
on.
me the stage where it's necessary to take up arms, we're not there yet, right? You are telling me that.
I would
Oh,
say
no, no,
so.
by the
Like
way,
the way I
hold on.
think
I'll be clear. I don't really care if either of these do. We are in the position when it's time for trans people to take up arms. Yes, trans people have the Second Amendment right. Because we live in goddamn America, trans people have the right to arm themselves to the teeth, and they motherfucking should. Wouldn't it be cool if I...
Hey guys, again, the take that this idea that giving trans women fucking RPDs, fucking MP5s to walk around with in the United States is going to save trans people is fucking mental illness.
Nobody's saying that.
Neurodivergence at its peak. It is fucking crazy. to assume
Nobody's
that
saying
simply by owning
that.
guns, trans people are going to get their fucking health care.
Nobody's saying that.
Future? Let's continue.
this kind of trans person
Nobody's
is
saying
I would say
that.
that if I don't think about this in that way, I think about how I'm going to live. I think about where I would run to because I see this happening. That's what I think. I don't be like, oh, okay, so the genocide's happening. I'm going to take up arms so they can kill me faster. No, I'm afraid, my guy.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't disagree.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it shouldn't be. Like,
Bruh.
I've read some of these
Liberals
laws.
are
They're pretty
so
fucking awful.
Liberals are so stupid. There's like liberals are so stuck in the debate in like the stupidest form of the debate mindset that they can't even listen to when a trans person is literally being like, I am scared for my life because of the state of affairs in our country. They're like, yeah, well, it doesn't meet the definition, the UN's most narrow definition of genocide. So what are you worrying about? It's all in your head. What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
It's true.
Again, like so. The only problem is that I'm not using the like.
You're so silent, Sondsol. What happened? Why so silent?
And we agree that
Nuts says they literally want me dead. I'm afraid for my life. And then the liberal continues to talk about how the weather is. Jesus Christ.
needs to stop.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Okay, let me look at this really quick.
Oh, so silent. Oh.
Oh, fuck, this is the actual thing.
What do you know? So what are you looking at now? What are you looking at now?
Okay, where's paragraph 5?
You numbskull.
Oh man, I might not know how to read legal documents.
Oh. Well. What a surprise. Does not know how to read. This is another thing that could be easily cut out of the video, by the way.
Fine. What page?
Silently reading. Congratulations. Whoa.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand.
Do you?
I'll have to look into it.
Bruh.
I don't think I'm.
Bruch.
I don't think it is unreasonable for me to come to the conclusion that if well, that at least the state of Texas, for example, hopefully the genocidal intent won't spread to the entire country, but it could, depending on what happens in national politics.
I think it already has.
I guess I'm just I'm just surprised to hear the sort of, instead of like.
Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't even think of this earlier, but have you guys seen the way that conservatives talk about Rachel Levine? Rachel Levine, the health secretary, who's trans. Conservatives literally talk about her as though she's actively grooming kids. Like, they're trying to get her assassinated. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you listen to the way conservatives talk right now, popular conservative pundits, if you listen to the way they talk about Rachel Levine, an innocent person, they are literally constantly saying she's after your children. They're literally trying to get her killed. It's unbelievable. That's just yet another thing on the giant pile.
Realizing that I have like a very real fear here.
It's gonna, by the way, guys, it's gonna be really funny to come back to this stream a year from now when I do my next I Was Right Again stream.
You've never been right in your life, Demon
This is the
Mama.
real talk I had with my parents, and I got called a schizo T-slur for being worried. Jesus Christ.
To sort of be picky about my use of the term.
Based
Well, you can
parents.
have a very real fear without using genocide. Right? There are lots of things that happen in the world that are horrible that aren't genocide.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah,
Uncle
we
Bob,
know
fair.
this. And also,
Based
come back
parents.
to one note, where the hell is it?
Based parents.
Even though I've made a good case for why there's an ongoing genocide, and there's absolutely very
What humor.
at the very least,
No transphobia, by the way. No transphobia.
in the United States. Oh, well, you know,
No.
it's terminology. Stop being so sensitive.
Your
Guys,
chat's
give me
triggered the
a
fuck out of me. They're so stupid. Holy shit. Sorry, not you. Okay.
Wait, did you just insult my chat?
One or two of them.
You're out of here.
Stop it, dude. Okay, stop it. Like,
Oh, what a loser.
Oh my fucking god.
Gale, I'll answer that in just 1 second.
That's so
okay?
fucking lame. Oh man.
Answer that.
So
How
lame.
dare you insult her
like,
chat?
okay,
Fuck
I'm just gonna
off.
speak on their behalf. You're completely missing the point.
Mm-hmm.
If this is not if this is not a genocide, then or
I don't know what one
is
is.
this not an, is this not
No
an attempted
comment.
genocide?
Like, no
Can you do
comment.
that?
No, I don't think it's an attempt because again, you talk about attempted. It's like I don't think they're doing it because they're trying to kill people.
Okay, okay. That's the problem. That for some reason you are unwilling to accept that this is.
Gale, Poly People is arguing that yes, there is the argument that Poly People has put forward is that there is an ongoing genocide against trans people, and has just said that okay, I still disagree with you, but can you at least admit that there's an attempted genocide? And Lonerbox said no, which is verifiably false. And I think
You
you're
haven't
responsible.
verified
I
anything.
am super disappointed. in
Have
Lonerbox.
you verified anything?
In this debate, I think it's embarrassingly bad.
She verified a lot more than you.
Correct this entire time, and Lonerbox's performance.
Like, she's verified a lot more than
Kill
you.
trans people, or it's at the very least a happy consequence.
She gave examples. She gave any data at all. You just said, oh, you're
Not a
crazy.
allegation that those who self-ID as transgender, non-binary, or intersex are cisgender men.
You just said that. You just quoted it. You just said that you had trans friends.
Consists of legal arguments and conclusions to which no response is required.
Why are you including this in the video?
Paragraph 16, whatever they're responding to. This could be read two different ways, but yeah, they might be saying like, as long as you're identifying that way, then you are that. But yeah. I just didn't know if I was saying interveners correctly. Yeah, I can understand why you read it that way. I don't know if that is exactly what they were trying to say, but I would need additional context. But like, it's very possible.
Would you defend us if someone you were debating called us names? Yes. Yes. Of course, you are gigglers, you know.
There's a lot of issues with
I'd
what
be
Lonerbox
like,
brought up. This
you
entire
know,
time I've been debunking shit that
I'm
he's
like,
said.
what the
It's
hell?
extremely easy. The slightest bit.
course.
All I have to do is search Matt Walsh or Steven Crowder or Tucker Carlson, any of the most popular right-wing figures, any of the most
Like,
popular politicians. Are
it's so
currently
strange that
complaining
streamers
about
like
groomers. And when
to.
they say groomers, they mean trans people. That's what they're trying to say. That's their.
I would
their-
defend you like a duck,
but
like a
specifically
mother
trans
duck.
groomers. I don't know. Like, this is just
You
ridiculous.
know?
I'm severely disappointed.
I mean,
You've said this
do you
so
know
many
how difficult
times,
it
but
is
you
to
haven't
live
actually
for many
laid
of
out
us
the
without
real case.
medical intervention?
Yes, she
I
has.
find
Yes,
trans
she
people
has.
like very long emails and all that. So as much as I can now, I try to. Yeah.
She has made a really good case, in fact. You just don't understand it.
Okay, on one, I fucking hate this
Like
shit.
that, just because you don't understand Demon Mama's case, it does not mean that she has not made a case.
Fucking much. It's like, on one hand, if you say you have like a trans friend or a black friend, or you have plenty of trans friends or black friends, then they're gonna say, oh, I have a trans friend, you have a trans friend. But then on the other side of that, they're like, have you even ever talked to a black person in your entire life?
What?
Well, do you want me to talk to black people or no? Is talking and like talking to people who have that lived experience not fucking enough?
It's
What is it?
not.
What is the correct?
It's not enough to treat it as data. No, it's not enough to say I have a trans friend, I have a black friend to treat it as data. That's not how that
Like,
works.
if you're like, if me as a straight white male can neither interact with these people because like simply having a black friend isn't enough for me to like hear what their experiences are.
You can talk about their
don't
experience,
talk to
but
these people-
using this as an argument that you have any authority on the subject or data is ridiculous. Dimir Mama, Gale, President Sunday, Lucy, etc. All these people have laid out the case, and these people have keep their head in the sand like I can hear you, la la la. Sondsol is a big yikes, yeah. Sondsol is like the least smart Steven Orbiter. It's ridiculous.
Then I don't get to hear what the experience is. Then like I'm stuck in this Schrodinger's box of like who I can trust for information.
What?
Ultimately, when people do this shit, like I feel like it used to be more valid, right?
More valid.
I feel like it used to be more valid, but at this point, like it's a Schrodinger's fucking like experiential fucking evidence thing. Like,
What?
am I allowed to fucking talk to black people about their experiences or not? Or is it only black people that agree with you?
This is what I say, that Sondsol is not a smart person, okay? It's not that you're not supposed to talk to people on an individual level or have friends. It's okay to have friends. It's okay to talk to people on an individual level. But when you try to turn it into an argument, when you try to say, I have expertise on this topic, or I can talk about this topic because I have a friend, then it becomes nonsensical. You can't treat having a friend as data. You can't treat having a friend as suddenly having experience with a subject. You're not being very smart, which is like, at this point, it does not surprise me at all, but
Is it only trans people that agree with you? That shit's annoying
No.
as fuck. Because like I do
no.
have many black friends. I do have many trans friends. And I can pull from them some information about their lived experience. Now, this lived experience that they have is not enough for me to have a whole, like a holistic view on any given subject.
There you
But
go.
it is something that I can like pull from.
What?
For you to imply that having a black friend isn't enough, or talking to a black person,
Well,
isn't
it's
enough,
not
you're
enough,
also saying
yeah.
that, like, oh well, you only say this because you haven't ever talked to a real trans person before. Implies that like
Oh my god.
those people aren't valid minorities because they don't agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucked up. It's like actually fucking disgusting to me. Like there's no way to actually like respond to the statement like, do you even have any like, do you ever interact with trans people in real life?
I
say,
mean, do
yeah, I
you?
have a lot of friends that are trans. And they're go, oh, I have a trans friend. Like, yeah, fucking I have to stop myself. I
You
gotta
can't
say
use
that
an
I'm
anecdote.
boxing people.
You can't use an anecdote to make wide-ranging comments about entire populations. Yeah, exactly. Like, what is this? Silliness. Being a silly goose. Silly goose.
So you're just willing to say that because you cannot prove what's in their mind and their heart, that you'll just give them the benefit of the doubt, that they really just hope trans people live happy lives?
That's
No,
not
it's not about benefit of the doubt. Like I fucking hate these people. I just think a good way to combat them, or at least people who vote for them, is to understand.
Do you think Liz
understand
gets so
them
upset when trans
actually.
people call them out because they can't high road them? Notice how Lonerbox immediately
Oh.
called out rhetoric that he would generally reserve for violent Nazis? Yeah.
Sounds like what Steve would say.
Yeah. I think
Have-
they're upset, because
Have chicken waffles with them, right?
Whoa,
You
after
just
Hardy are Chuck from Break from
the best way is to just have chicken waffles dinner with them, right? That's the best way to. There's this saying that you can get into someone's heart through their stomach, so you should have like, you should invite all the fasci types into, like, to a dinner, right? Nice chicken waffles dinner. He's triggered. He's not allowed to use the black friend argument. Yeah, I know.
They are,
This is
they're
so
all about
silly.
technicality, and they are never about spirit. They don't care about what the law is supposed to do. They only care about the
Fuck, these people only hate these people only care about data when it aligns with them, and
people.
then it's all about spirit and what you know what your intuition is.
What?
Y'all
No.
remember when like people dunked on Ben Shapiro for like all of his like anti-empirical claims that he made all the time, despite saying facts don't care about your feelings? Then
Are
people would
you-
bring out all these stats and figures and all of that shit
Are you defending Ben Shapiro?
to prove that he was wrong, and then
Are you trying
What
to
happened to that?
defend Ben
Now we
Shapiro?
are going to just go with the same fucking thing that like facts don't matter and feelings is all that matters?
We have given tons of facts. You just ignore them. Like, it's not my fault that you ignore the facts. Also, when you have the right argument, you don't have to even mention how many friends of X category you have. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
data as a rhetorical weapon only.
What? What are you trying to say?
Wow, holy shit, brave take, M9300. Super brave take. Too bad, it's not what we're talking about. Come back in 5 minutes when you're ready to actually interact with us. Or come
What?
back tomorrow and jump in VC, one of the two. Do words have meaning? Like, that's what I'm fucking wondering, bro.
Bro.
Demon Mama never really
Bro.
cared about facts. I think that Demon Mama legitimately thinks that every single one of her talking points are facts because she intuits them. It's not that they don't think that they're facts.
Projection.
Facts as long as they agree with them.
Ooh, projection
They
much.
can lie, cheat, and steal as much as they want, as long as they technically have the right of
Projection
law. That is
much.
a fundamental part of liberalism, is the obsession.
I don't like
We don't
projection.
I shot you in the face, but it's okay because it says on the law books that I can shoot you if you're on my property, and my property includes the entire forest that you used to live in. I bought it. And you're trespassing. It's fucking stupid. It is. It's West Wing ass bullshit. It's embarrassing.
West
and
Wing
that's why
bullshit.
liberals get so mad in conversations like this. Because in conversations about what you do in the face
Yeah, in conversations where someone isn't able to actually verify anything that they're fucking saying whatsoever, or like even deal with the same fucking language where we're all using shared definitions for the same words, hopefully. And then you guys
What do you mean? We have given examples, we have given data, we have given explanations and definitions. You just don't agree. Doesn't mean that there are no arguments or facts just because you don't agree.
around and decide to completely rework the entire fucking language to fit your fucking ideology. Yeah, it's almost like that is a really fucking
Ideology.
frustrating conversation.
Oh, wow. That's not a right-wing talking point at all. Like, transgender ideology. That's not a right-winger point at all. You're such an ally. You're such a progressive.
Dumb fuck.
of overwhelming oppression in the face of genocide is never as clean as they want. They don't like the idea that their system gives birth to the power that fascists use to kill.
Like, I could debate someone for trans rights without be bringing up my girlfriend because my positions can stand on their own. Exactly.
Liberalism is the left wing of fascism.
Is to, at least to some degree, find out what made them think that way. And what I see with a lot of people who, especially, the problem, like, it's maybe different in the UK, what happens in the UK is a lot of otherwise progressive people will get roped into transphobia because basically this is fear-mongering. They'll be,
Yeah, plug your ears.
oh, maybe it's okay for adults, but, kids, I don't know, too soon, they kind of make up their own minds. And I'm like, okay, you don't sound like someone who's trying to kill trans people, right? Even though...
Yes, that is the overwhelming opinion in the United States, too.
I was honestly surprised, too. I never took him for, like,
A
him for the,
transphobe?
genocide-denying type, or the genocide downplaying, which is a form of genocide denial. I never took him for that type. Unfortunately,
It's genocide denial now.
I've learned...
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah. Keep up.
Messaging loaner box.
I've learned that...
Messaging box.
And that death orbit
Oh
can do
my
horrible,
goodness.
horrible damage to people's otherwise based opinions.
Oh, the consequences of what you vote for will probably get trans people killed, right?
Sure.
People, but I think what motivates people to try and keep kids away from puberty blockers and all that, I think 99.99% of the time it's because they're scared of poor kids getting doctors interfering. I think for most of the time you can actually, or some weird religious shit. I think you have to, but that's just how I view most human behavior. I don't think that necessarily means unless you have a bit of proof that they're actually trying to get trans people killed.
Okay, the copium popping up on the screen there was pretty funny, I gotta say. This is called normalcy bias. It's a really fucking deep-rooted brainworm. Loner wants politics to be this really unscary thing where it doesn't affect it because if he actually has to be politically active beyond saying the right thing, you might get hurt. Yeah, it's scary. It would suck if everything about your life was forcibly made political and you had no choice in that matter. It would suck if from the day that you realized you were trans, from the day that you realized something about yourself,
True.
like shit, and you were legally discriminated against, you were economically
But
discriminated.
no, I guess this is all like Demon Mama's fault that the topic is getting politicized, right? Like, he's gonna say it right now. He's gonna say that it's all because of crazy people like Demon Mama. Not surprising he defend Shapiro. He defended Big Papa Fascist early against the claim that he's fascist, so no bar too low. True. Like, he's gonna say that it's because of Demon Mama now.
Against, you were targeted online and offline.
And the problem is, the reason I have a problem with genocide again is because when you use that language and you look at the way historically genocides have been responded to and the way that genocides are handled, and the best way to handle genocide is that you've got people in your audiences who are very vulnerable and are very scared enough, are very scared as it is. And when you say these people want to kill you, then you are kind of quietly saying, if someone wants to kill you, the things that you should do in self-defense.
What do you think conservatives are doing, you idiot?
One second, I'm sorry. The dude that the groiper that messages me all the fucking time. He sent me a YouTube video called Introducing Walmart Land on Roblox.
I don't care
Why?
about your groiper?
It's
Why did you keep this in the video?
posting 90% of the fucking time,
Stop.
and I say this to him in DMs all the time, so I'm not shit talking. He knows what I think.
Ooh,
It's schizo posting all the fucking time.
I don't
And it's like a
care.
fucking Roblox video? Why?
Sorry,
Okay,
I
go
don't wanna
back.
Kids have been responding.
Why are you
and you had no choice in that.
keeping the
You suck. And from the day
groipers
you
in your...
realized you were trans, I mean, from the day that you realized something about yourself, people treated you like shit, and you were legally discriminated against, you were economically discriminated against, you were targeted online and offline.
And the problem is, the reason I have a problem with genocide again is because when you use that language and you look at the way historically genocides
Yeah.
have been responded to and the way that genocides are handled, and the best
This
thing is
person
that
that
you
puts
don't want your audience
real
to see
effort
that
into his
people are very
videos.
scared enough, are very scared as it is. And when you say these people want to kill you, then you are kind of quietly saying, if someone wants to kill you, the things that you should do in self-defense.
What do you think conservatives are doing, you idiot? I'm sorry, I don't want to be too much of an asshole, but he's sitting here saying that that lefties are dog whistling by calling out a genocide, and in the same conversation in which he pretends that conservatives calling trans people groomers and constantly the biggest
True.
conservative channels.
He's already said that, yes, they dog whistle about that shit. He said it.
No. I don't care about your
He's
groiper.
literally already said that, yeah, like, obviously conservatives are really, like, negative,
I mean, I don't.
and the politicians, he fucking hates them, right? And he wants to, like, fight back against it. But just, like, he doesn't like the idea of blasting out this terminology about fucking genocide. He just doesn't believe in that same thing. Try harder. Maybe be able to fucking
My
justify a
gosh.
goddamn thing that you've ever fucking said on stream. Imagine being able to justify a goddamn thing that you've ever fucking said.
She justified
So far
plenty.
outside the realm of possibility for Demon Mama. She couldn't even dream about it.
Dream about
It's
what?
like a fifth dimensional object. You can't even like conceive of it in your mind.
What? Also, by the way, we've just unlocked we've just about unlocked a nice achievement called Sword of Myth. Obtained the Excalibur. Or the 42% of players have obtained the Excalibur. I just thought I would, how you call, flex a bit, okay?
Putting out messaging that they, aka trans people, are coming for your kids. And in the same fucking conversation, this fucking clown is
Ooh,
gonna sit here and
strong
go,
weapon.
you're dog whistling towards violence. What are the conservatives doing then? What are they dog whistling towards? What the fuck? How can you be so stupid? How can you be so blind? How could you miss this? This conversation is only an hour long. Did you get so lost?
True, in the sauce. Lost in the
What
sauce.
the fuck, man?
You're lost.
I'm actually
What an argument. Oh,
7
yeah.
hours to react to this fucking shit.
His run.
You're not
His
willing to
run.
say
No,
What an argument. No, you lost. No, you. No, you. You are lost.
like terms of service, right? People who want to defend themselves.
And you're
Violate
lost.
terms of service, though, so we know what you are okay with.
No.
Fed posting asshole. You are a Fed posting asshole. This is Loaderbox trying to make it. This is intimidation. The implication of what he's doing is he's trying to get her to say something that is TOS, as if that's an own.
That's
As if
not what
an
he's
argument
trying to
itself. No,
do.
what he's trying to do is he's trying
Yes,
to say,
he
hey, this
is.
out of line. If you say something wrong here, your channel's gonna get removed. Your channel's gonna get removed.
Oh, you
you
guys
know
are
what
so
you're talking about.
special.
And what
There's
she's trying to say
feds
is,
going
I will,
after
like,
you.
Literally throughout this whole conversation,
This is Final Fantasy IV. My favorite Final... This is actually my favorite Final Fantasy of the whole series. So, we are playing the whole Final Fantasy series on stream, okay? So if you want to see the whole series, tune in to my streams. We have finished Final Fantasy 1 on stream. We have finished Final Fantasy 2 on stream. We have finished Final Fantasy 3 on stream. Now we are playing Final Fantasy 4 on stream, my favorite one. Okay? It's true.
he has said, I don't believe in that. I want to flee. What a dirtbag shit. What fucking dirtbag bullshit.
He's not trying to do anything like
This
that.
is so shit.
Oh, how do you know?
Dude, what the fuck?
Oh.
Anytime someone wants you guys
Now it's okay to read intent. Now you can read Loaderbox's intent perfectly. Interesting. Interesting that. What system was this originally for? It looks gorgeous. It was originally for the 16-bit console Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo system. Or Super Famicom. It was 16-bit. A 16-bit console.
to be fucking honest about your fucking ideology or your fucking prescriptions about any fucking topic. You guys immediately say,
Wait till you see.
oh, well, they're actually just trying to like
Wait till you see Final Fantasy 5 and 6, which we will be playing after this.
oppress me right now. They're actually just trying to, they're transphobic and they're trying to fuck me over. That's the only way that they can fucking justify, like, never saying the quiet part out loud. Because they know if they said what they actually fucking believed, guess what? They would get banned. Why? Because what they believe is based in violence. They do believe in a violence-based approach towards politics. For all of the fucking like cry bullying that they will do about people saying, oh, you know, like, oh, this person told me to kill myself on YouTube, or this person told me to kill myself on Twitter. All that cry bullying.
Oh yeah. It's like it's the trans people's fault that all the bad things happen. Oh yeah, it's the trans people. They're the violent ones. Oh yeah.
They will literally direct their audiences towards people to say that shit to them.
Oh yeah. Trans people and people like Demon Mama, they are the
For
violent
all the
ones.
cry bullying that they do.
Oh yeah.
All the fucking boo-hooing that they'll do about right-wing fucking stochastic terrorism, which is a real fucking thing. The fucking second that someone says, hey, it feels like you might be doing a stochastic terrorism yourself.
Oh, yeah,
no,
for
you're just saying
sure.
that because you want to attack trans people. No, fuck off. I think that you're actually a danger to fucking society. I think you actually
what?
want to kill people. That's what the fucking problem is. I think you're a lunatic and you actually want to kill people. And that's scary to a lot of fucking people out there. Believe it or not, most people don't want to fucking go to a fucking second civil war where we're fighting over fucking trans rights over it. And the fact that you
Yeah, I know. Most people do not care about trans rights. That's like, thank you. Like, that's not exactly. You're not exactly being super like. Oh my gosh. No comment.
you're trying to push people there.
Like, this statement, this little rant speaks for itself, if I do say so myself.
It's fucking crazy.
She's equating lefties with Nazis, basically. Yeah, I know. It's the typical both siding of things. Like, centrist BS.
Sorry. I got a little heated there. Let's bring down the temperature in the room.
Oh,
Y'all
wow.
like fucking chicken
House move.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, chicken waffles.
No, I do not want to. No. Look, please.
Kill
do
me.
Look at what he's
Thank you.
trying to do to her. She has not even gone hard on him at all. She's been nothing but kind. He's trying to say, oh, like you're TOS, you're gonna get your channel taken down. What the fuck, man? What a cowardly. This is straight up, unironically, fucking no joke. Not even kidding you, 100% Chuck from fucking Better Call Saul behavior. Just can we call him fucking Chuckbox instead? Yeah. What if I secretly recorded you and then hid the recording of you accidentally self-incriminating or confessing to me as your brother, and I use that against you in a court of law? What the fuck, man?
True.
Maybe chicanery box? I don't know.
The only reason, again, this is just cry bully fucking behavior. Every single time they advocate for something,
What?
it's couched in the assumption that, yes, I can't say what I actually believe, right? I can't say what I actually believe because of the Twitch TOS. But, you know,
No.
if some trans people wanted to arm themselves to protect their medical human rights, then they should do that. And if a conservative gets in the way, then they should respawn peacefully. These
What do you mean get in the way? What? He gives away the game right there. If you won't fight for it, you are willing to throw them under the bus. But when push comes to shove, you prefer and desire fascism over their lives. Yeah, like, if you believe it or not, most people do not want to fight a civil war over trans rights. Like, this is ridiculous. This is the solidarity. This is the type of solidarity that this person is pushing for, you know? You know what? I would like, if there was like a new civil war over fighting for the rights of people of color or any other, yeah, I would want to have that fight because I want people of color to have rights, you know? This whole thing that most people will not want to fight for the rights of others is just pathetic. It's pathetic.
motherfuckers are so fucking transparent, dude. It's and
Yeah, the
the
transparency.
outrage when someone calls them on it.
Oh yeah, the transparency. They're so transparently wanting to fight for the rights of others. So that's so bad, isn't it? Yeah. So bad.
It's fucking abysmal. It makes me fucking. It's the most blackpilling fucking thing in the
Got a little heated. Yeah, sounds like he really cares about any of this. Oh yeah.
entire world.
I mean, he cares about the revenue that he gets from all of this.
Again, like, for people who haven't watched me for a long time, I used to be a socialist. But I believe in certain fucking values that no like large
Values.
leftist creator online believes in, right?
I'm so
I
concerned
had to drop the
becoming
economic
kind-
arguments only because of like the evidence that I've been able to see against
I don't even think you know what socialism is. I'm willing to bet you have no clue what socialism is.
socialism, right? Like the economic fact of it. But all of
Economic
these
fact of it.
social and philosophical takes, they're fundamentally opposed to me in this like and like I hate to fucking say it, a lot of them overlap with a lot of right-wing takes that I fundamentally can never get behind.
What?
The Pepe posting about like when people should be put down,
What?
unfucking real.
What are you even talking about?
Actually, unreal.
I know unreal because it's not real. Well said, unreal.
The Pepe posting, the allusions to like how we should deal with people who don't agree with us in
Usually when people say I used to be a socialist, they were a tanky. Was he a tanky or something? I mean, possibly. I have no clue. I'm willing to bet that he has no clue what socialism means.
like with every single one of our prescriptions philosophically, the use of data only when it supports their case, like there's just like it overlaps with the alt-right in so many fucking ways that it's fucking
What?
ultimately fucking blackpilling. Because again,
What are you talking about?
on like broad strokes saying like trans people deserve to be treated with dignity, they deserve
Broad
certain
strokes.
rights when it comes to their medical
What?
care, they deserve to be seen as equals to cis people, shit like
Broad
that, right?
strokes.
They shouldn't be discriminated against for you know, in
I see,
in their
broad
transition, whether
strokes.
they end up passing or not, they shouldn't be discriminated against. I'll just
What is this nonsense? Broad strokes?
that shit shouldn't, like, that's shit that I believe, right?
Okay,
They
you
shouldn't be
believe the broad
discriminated against.
strokes.
Or like black people should be helped out in their underserved communities so they can be brought up to par with you know, white people, right? Or that like people who are escaping horrible lives in fucking Guatemala or fucking Honduras because of like drug cartels there. Those people should be allowed to come into the United States and seek asylum, and they should have a path to citizenship if they so desire. They would agree with me on all those things. But then when you get into the nitty-gritty of those things, like,
Okay,
should
what's
we have
there?
literal open borders where people could just like come in here?
Yes.
Hold on, let's
Yeah.
let's think about that for a second. That might lead to some literally like untenable
Like what?
economic costs if we literally had millions of people pouring in every month, which we don't have millions of people pouring in every month. We have a lot of people, but it's not economically damaging to us, right?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Right. They'll say like, yeah, we should
Why do you
places for black people.
why do you assume that millions of people could be able to just come to the US every single month? Are you is this a serious argument or is this just a troll? Is this a joke?
Live separate from white people so that they can stay away from the bullshit, whatever they say, right?
The what?
Where they literally recreate segregation, but wokely.
What?
Defend it.
Vocally?
When it comes to trans people, literally saying
What?
you can identify as literally anything, and it can be your gender, because gender literally doesn't mean anything. Words don't mean anything.
Oh yeah, create absurd arguments that you can just take down on your own. This is totally not a right-wing technique to create a ridiculous argument that you can just take down. Those are all right-wing talking points.
Does not have to be the
Literally.
shared thing between people. Despite that literally being the utility and function and reason why we use language, because we all have shared definitions of words.
Please do not speak about language. You have
We can
no
identify as
clue.
anything, including, and I remember her fucking saying this. In fact, if anybody in chat can help me find the clip of her saying that Nazi gender is fucking valid,
Nazi
just
gender?
that she would question anyone
What?
who said that they were Nazi gender. Not that it was invalid, but if they genuinely felt like they were Nazi gender, then she would support them.
Okay.
They fundamentally have a view of the world that is so unbelievably caustic to the
What?
groups that they advocate for.
Oh yeah,
It
unlike
fucking
you.
kills me. because I actually care about these fucking issues.
Oh yeah, you.
What is the best way for us to
Oh yeah,
bring,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the poor up to where they have like decent fucking lives?
You
What
don't
is the
care.
best way for us to advocate for the rights of trans people? What is the
Oh,
best
yeah, the
way
best
for us
way.
to make sure that people who are seeking better lives are able to come to the United States and do that, while also like helping ourselves in the process? Because let's
Helping
be honest,
yourself.
immigration is based. What are the best ways for us to do this? And let's look at the evidence.
You're
And
an
let's go based
idiot.
off of that evidence and try to create a system that takes all of the best things from all of the systems all over the world and puts it into ours. And then improve
What?
on that even further so that everybody is always striving to be better. That's how I want to fucking look at the world.
You're an
Through
idiot.
a paradigm where we are always trying to make people's lives fucking better.
Well,
And they don't believe in that. They will as soon reinvent fucking segregation
what?
as look at literal data points on how to like help black people. It fucking kills me. Sorry, I'm ranting a little bit, but
You are. You're
fucking kills me
just
so
you're
much.
making no sense. You're
I
an
put so
idiot.
much effort into
You do not.
looking at the world and looking at
You do
different,
not. I'm sorry.
looking at different ideologies and reading about different ideologies to
You do not read. I do not believe that you read anything. He misses the key point. If words and their meaning are held between subjects, then that means their meanings are not stable and not fully known. So yeah, gender as a notion will be experimented with. Yeah, he is. Like, what the hell?
what things
I do not believe for 1 second that he actually reads anything.
have worked good and what things
I'm
have
sorry, I
not
just
worked so
don't
good in
believe
the past,
that.
to understand people's viewpoints, to
Citation needed. What have you
be
read
able to reach
lately?
people so that they come into like a space where we all live in the same fucking reality, all using the same words to mean the same things, and
What have you read lately?
they've harassed the fuck out, like the most harassment I've ever received in my entire goddamn life.
What's
has been
from
at the hands
Demon
of Demon
Mama?
Mama's community.
I knew it!
They're fucking
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I called it! I called it! I did not pre-watch. This is the first time I'm watching this. I knew he would say that the most harassment he got in his entire life is from Demon Mama. I knew he would say that. I called it. Lucy hits, Lucy scores, okay? Lucy knows what she is talking about, gigglers. Lucy knows her stuff. I knew it! Oh wait, is he applying Professor Flower's stuff to all of the left? Is that what this segregation thing is coming from? I have no idea. It seems like it though.
if you disagree with them. And there have been some times where I might have gone a
I
little bit too
knew-
far, making fun of them and saying mean things to them.
Ooh, a
I
little
did say
bit
that
too
one
far.
thing about that gay fesh guy's dick,
What?
which was, let's be honest, very fucking funny.
You're so
But it was
creepy.
body shaming, and I shouldn't have fucking done it. And I've said that I shouldn't have done it.
You're
But I
such a
will apologize to that
creep.
motherfucker, because he's literally openly led harassment campaigns against me. But because
Yeah, what are
on the
those?
correct side of things, it'll never, ever, ever,
Yeah.
like, he'll never get banned. He'll never get held
I
accountable.
cannot help myself. All dogs are harassers, okay?
He can literally say,
Dogs
"We
are
need to
just
mass report
harassers by
Sondsol
nature. It's nature's the.
because he's
It's
transphobic and hates trans people.
listen. It's basic biology, okay? Like Lucy harassing him is just like a natural,
Because I said
end
vampire gender
result.
isn't real. We need to mass report this motherfucker. I don't care if streaming is his only
What?
form of income, which at that point
Who?
it was. We should mass report him so that he's gone forever, so we don't have to deal with him anymore. Rather than like explain to me how I'm wrong in a way that actually convinces me. Because it's not like I'm ideologically fucking like
I
predisposed
mean-
to believing Nazi gender isn't a thing or vampire gender isn't a thing. I don't have an ideology that like forces me to not accept vampire gender. It's not like I'm cleric gender.
I'm just gonna say
where
something
I automatically
in a
attack
second,
all,
okay?
all vampire genders on site. No. You could convince me otherwise, but they know that they can't, so
Yeah.
they don't. Instead,
I
they
mean,
use the exact same
remember the debate that President Sunday had with this person just yesterday? Do you remember that? Like, President Sunday used a lot of arguments. Was Sondsol, what's his name again? Was Sondsol convinced by any of the arguments? like, what's unreasonable in this debate? The woke mob can't be stopped. It always comes back to wokeness has gone too far. It's true. Many people are saying this about Dax. Yeah, it's true. It can't be stopped. It can't be reasoned with. It won't stop until you're cancelled. True, I will cancel Sondsol. I should debate.
Fucking alt-right
I
did
should debate
to
him.
deplatform people, to attack people, to harass them off the internet.
True, I will
To agree with
cancel
your stream rule
you.
from your birthday, no fat chicks.
I will cancel you.
I don't know what you're talking about, unless you're talking about me banning Brittany from the chat on that day, but
Who?
Nazi Freudian. No, it's because Demon Mama has literally said that Nazi gender is valid as long as they truly believe it. To relax after this crazy stream, I'm not even like. Let's be clear. I'm not even like that super upset about it. It's just like when I look at like
You
the
are
way
upset.
that things could have gone and the way that things are going, and then I
What?
see the advocates that are pushing the talking points that are becoming like the big talking points.
Oh
of
my
these things,
gosh.
it fucking kills me. Like
I have
I'm
no
not, like,
clue what you're
super upset,
talking
I'm super
about.
worked up. And
Yeah,
trust
you.
me, if I was super worked up, you would fucking know. People have seen me.
Yeah, I know because you don't care.
Like yeah, like when I see shit,
You're
like that,
obviously you don't care.
fucking
Like,
blackpilling. How?
why are you
Can I describe it?
bragging
Like,
about
the-
not
It's
caring?
not the red pill or the blue pill. It's the black pill.
Oh, of course. You're so smart.
Fuck this guy. This is pathetic, man.
It is
What are
pathetic.
you, a fucking liberal? Yeah, this is some like terminal toxic liberality.
Not push me to this direction. I told you my personal story. I think I talked
Yeah,
to trans
literally,
people.
again, I just want to reiterate, just so nobody says that I'm being super mean here, just to reiterate, poly people explicitly already said that she doesn't even believe in taking up arms, that she's not a violent person, that she wants to flee. So he's just being an asshole and trying to trick her into accidentally Fed posting, when she's already been very clear about her position. This is a dirtbag piece of shit. This is like bad empanada tier tactics. Not that Loner Box is as bad as bad empanada, but unironically, that's bad empanada tier tactics. That's the shit that bad empanada does. He goes on debates and tries to get people TOS'd. Pathetic. Embarrassing.
Time, many of us are figuring out where the fuck we're gonna run.
Hey,
Right?
welcome back, Tyler.
That's the normal response. Like, taking up arms against the state is suicidal, right? Like I would never advocate that people do that.
Doesn't mean
Mama
what
did earlier in the
defines.
stream.
I would never advocate.
I'm gonna
ever.
pause. Doesn't mean what defines it can be pushed back on, like he's like the super straight thing. Yeah, exactly. I didn't see that debate. Now I feel like I must go watch it at some point. That yeah, well, you know, it's a bit painful. Yeah, these streamers are the disappointment, not the legislation around the country. Nothing to see there. Yeah. Plus, I'm gonna say it. Demon Mama does a really good job. Okay. Demon Mama's nice.
Oh look, she's doing the fucking Pepe posting of this.
What?
She's Pepe posting right now. I would never advocate for violence.
Get
We are
out of here.
firmly against political violence. We are firmly against resisting the state.
Even her chat is posting Pepe. Even her chat is posting Pepe. What the fuck?
However,
No
I
comment.
do want to quote some literature here.
Oh,
just to say,
however,
this
but
is our worst enemy, the law. As merciless, cruel, and unrighteous as it is, the law thinks
the law is our greatest enemy. Oh God.
nothing of whatever falls between the arms of its scale. The law does not believe in anything that falls between the black and the white. That's just a quote from literature, guys. Here on this channel, we are firmly no violence.
Yeah, it is. Like, if you believe that legality makes something good, then you're just an idiot. Like, law has produced historically many horrible things. Redlining was the law. Slavery was the law. The Holocaust was the law. So yeah, in many instances, the law literally becomes our greatest enemy. Like once the anti-trans bills get pushed and put into law, the law will become literally our greatest enemy. There is nothing ridiculous about saying that. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What's so ridiculous about saying that the law can become your greatest enemy? Like, are you serious? Like, once the anti-trans bill become the law, that's literally the case.
Firmly.
I can understand why some people.
Despite her saying earlier that she wants trans people to arm themselves for the oncoming trans genocide in this stream. Fucking liar. Fucking cuck. Fucking say what you believe or like fuck off. There's no opinion of mine that I've ever had to hide on stream. Literally zero.
You are
I've
an
never had to hide an
idiot.
opinion.
Yeah, but it's because
I
you're.
don't believe in fucking violence like that.
That's because you're not smart.
If you have to hide something that you believe from your audience, from the public, so
Oh
that
my
you don't
gosh.
get banned, so that you don't get, so that you don't get investigated by the
I
fucking
don't
literal
know what to say.
maybe something about your worldview, maybe something about your tactics for achieving your political goals is fucked up. But maybe I'm just a liberal who believes that killing people is bad for no reason.
Feel like they have to do that, right? But I think that's just mental masturbation, or just a way to make yourself feel better about the real reality that they're trying to kill us. Like, this seems to be, to you, this is a sort of
No, you're just
and I can feel that, and that's really frustrating.
you're just not
Trans
smart.
people don't talk about these ways in the ways that, like, Vosh, for example, does, or people that talk about, self-defense with fucking arms. That's crazy. Like, that is not going to help us.
I disagree.
The thing that will help us is if you at least call out what.
Even Polly doesn't advocate for that stuff either. I'm pretty sure that in a conversation that I had with her, she said that trans people should be arming themselves.
Oh, you're
Or maybe
pretty
I saw a clip
sure.
of her agreeing with Vosh saying that.
Oh.
But like the implication, if you're saying that like trans people should be
So once again, you're saying something based on having no clue what you're talking about. Thank you, Sondsol. Thank you once again. Okay, amazing stuff from you once again, as always. As always. You're not being ridiculous at all.
arming themselves for the oncoming genocide is that like, all right, guys, guess what? Get yourself some guns. But maybe I'm wrong.
I'm just gonna
Demon Mama
let
explicitly
this
fucking
hang
said
like the
earlier,
bad fart
or
that
as
it
close to
is.
explicit as you can be without like Pepe posting.
Because it is a bad fart.
Right? Instead of
Or, like,
people
literally
don't
saying
know
it,
it's not
sorry.
quite as bad as you think. Like, just because there's some libs that like maybe fall prey to the idea that there's like an overtreatment of gender dysphoria, right? Doesn't mean that the core transphobe wants to do.
Right, but I would actually be interested to because I don't think Polly will ever talk to me again, especially after me reviewing this. But even before that, I had a conversation with her in the past.
Why would
is on
anyone want to
YouTube if
talk to
I just
you?
linked the YouTube if you want to subscribe there. But
No.
yeah, I have a video on YouTube where I was talking to her, and she
No.
like completely.
She isn't hiding a damn thing. That's right.
When it comes to like
Who's
political
hiding
advocacy, like, yeah,
anything?
we should be mean. We should be violent. We should be like, or I don't know if like violent is
Like,
but like
you would think that she's hiding something if you're not very smart.
based off of that conversation with her, I wouldn't doubt that she would say the same thing that Demon Mama said earlier, and I would like to be proved wrong because I used to like Polly. I thought she was a very I liked the fact that she was aggressive, right? But I thought she had
I
the ability to
mean-
like turn it on and off, right? But I actually don't think that she does have the ability to turn it
You
on.
have been proven.
It's all aggression all the fucking time. And
You have been proven wrong many, many times today. And Poly People was not aggressive in the slightest in the discussion with Loner Box. So the thing you are reacting to disproves your point.
that's like never, ever going to fucking reach people that disagree with you, you know?
And how is she
And I love
being aggressive?
That's why I like Polly.
How is she being aggressive
Sometimes you
here?
gotta be that motherfucker that like shits on the person that's like going hard on the race realism, or like shits on the person that is.
How is she being aggressive here?
You just speak to her about that. I don't remember her ever saying to do violence. Right. Again, like that's why I'm saying like I don't know when it comes to Polly.
I
Right.
know you don't know. You don't know
I do
anything.
know that Vosh has literally just done it.
You don't know
But I do know
anything.
that Polly has like a stance of like, we should be aggressive and we should fight in like the strongest ways possible to achieve trans liberation. Right. She agrees with all these very illiberal people who don't believe in the rule of law, who don't.
You
think that
don't know
they can go through the
anything.
legal systems to advocate for their rights, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And I'm willing to be like proved wrong. That's just like the impression that I get from her. But again, I don't think that she'll ever talk to me again because I don't think
Because
that,
you're ridiculous.
after
You're
our
not
previous
worth talking
conversations
to.
and, like the people that I associate with that she virulently fucking hates now. I don't think that she would be willing to
You
talk.
are literally not worth talking to.
Do nothing short of eliminate trans people. However that happens, just like the fucking Nazis did. They didn't necessarily need to cart every person off. They were happy
Again,
with immigrants.
just reiterating, the first mass book burnings happened in 1933.
Book burnings aren't genocide. Book
Is a-
burnings
a-
aren't
a
genocide.
physical
Book burnings aren't
A
genocide.
physical attack
You are
against Jewish people
very,
spurred on
very.
by right-wing agitation
No comment.
well before 1941.
You don't know what genocide is.
I'm head out soon, but fun fact, I got spit at 6 times yesterday. Jesus, what did you do to him? Good to hear.
Like you just don't know what genocide is.
Hey, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, abolish people with webcams. True.
Also, if anyone would like to drop a donation link right there, or I dropped the donation link right there. If anyone wants to drop any birthday cash in there, all right. My birthday was. On
I
Halloween,
do.
All right. If you guys want to
Wait,
spread the
hold
love. That's
on.
a great way to help me out directly.
I do want to drop a donation link. Wait. I do want to drop a link. You're right. I do want to drop a link, and I will. Yeah, good. Wait. Let me. There you go. I do want to drop my link. There you go. I'm dropping the link. Please become like yeah, drop birthday card to Lucy. Like become a Patreon. Or if you don't want to become a Patreon either, then you can like become a coffee machine. You can donate by giving me a coffee, okay? So you can either subscribe or you can donate to me via coffee. Please consider doing either of those things because giggling is like my giggle, okay? Yeah, come on, be a Patreon. Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Please move states,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
Because only certain states right now are genocidal. Some states are not. So, forcing people to move out, making people's lives miserable such that they kill themselves. That's all in the playbook. The core intent of these laws is to kill or eliminate by whatever means necessary trans people.
And when you're saying that this is just
Hey,
a philosophical
thanks.
debate for me, find that a bit insulting when my partner's is trans. I've got trans people in my community, I've got trans friends who are close to me, and they will say actually, and this is someone who people come to me like complaining about.
No shit,
Please don't do
Shakespeare.
it, dude. Please don't do it. Just stop where you are. Stop while you're ahead. I know he already said it because this is a VOD, but
Wait,
oh my
what
god.
did he
here we
say?
go.
Vosh genocide thing is they say.
Whatever means necessary trans people.
And when you're saying that this is
Hold on, really quick. Also, Shakespeare, confirm or deny? Halloween is the best and only
Oh my
holiday
gosh.
birthday that someone can have that is good. Birthday on Christmas,
What?
you're not getting as many fucking presents. All right. Birthday on fucking Easter, well, you have to dress up in those fucking frilly, cringy fucking clothes. Halloween, just fucking right.
Why do we need this on the video?
just a philosophical debate for me. Find that a bit insulting when my partner's is trans. I've got trans people in my community, I've got trans friends who are close to me, and they will say actually, and this is someone who people come to me like
Don't
complaining
do it,
about.
dude. Please don't do it, dude. Please don't
What?
do it. Just stop where you are.
Don't
Stop
do
while you're
what?
ahead. I know he already said it because this is a VOD, but oh my god, here we go.
Vosh, when he says the genocide thing, is they say that when they hear that, they feel like horrified. They feel like an immovable fear. And then often I think when I have these discussions with people,
Based. Thank you so much.
You said to donate during stream, so happy birthday boy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I ask a few people whether or not
Donate to me some money. I deserve it better than this person, okay?
and this is someone who people come to me like
I think I deserve better
Please don't do it.
donation.
Just stop where you are. Stop while you're
Yeah,
ahead.
don't do this. Don't do this, Giggler.
Vosh, when he says the genocide thing, is they say that when they hear that, they feel like horrified. They feel like an immovable fear. And then often I think when I have these discussions with people, is I ask a few people whether or not like, oh, how many states do you think have banned trans healthcare for kids or tried to? And they'll say, oh, I don't know, like 30. And it's like,
Yeah.
one of them failed. So it's like, I
It's
think giving people that
Shakespeare.
impression and giving people that like, doom and
True.
gloom, because genocide is very doom and gloom. Like,
Yes.
Oh, we should it's just a vibe genocide. We should just ignore it.
It's not
Vibe.
a genocide if nothing's happened.
We talked about Magnus.
Nothing's
Let's
happened.
bring it back up again.
What do you mean nothing's happened? Are you blind? Are you Wow. Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. Okay.
1933, and then he died in France. in
Okay.
1935. Magnus Hirschfeld's entire life was persecuted by the entire end of his life. He was persecuted by the Nazis long before when Loaderbox here, Mr. fucking Chuckbox.
If he fled in 1932,
Very.
then that was when the Nazis took power. The
Yeah.
year before they took power. So how was he persecuted by the Nazis before they took power? The entire end of his life?
they feel like an immovable.
Wait, hold on.
And then he died in France in 1935. Magnus Hirschfeld's entire life was persecuted by the entire end of his life. he was persecuted by the Nazis long before when Loaderbox here, Mr. fucking Chuckbox.
They feel like an immovable
Let's hear it
fear.
again.
And often I think what happens is
Okay, let's hear it again.
You said to donate during stream.
Based.
Birthday boy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I asked a few people whether or not
Maybe suck on. Hello?
like, oh, how many states do you think oppose me? And they will say, actually, and this is someone who people come
Don't
complaining
do it,
about.
dude. Please don't do it, dude. Please don't do it. Just stop where you are. Stop while you're ahead. I know you already said it because this is a VOD, but oh my god, here we go.
Let's we're gonna
They say that
hear
when they hear
again.
that, they feel like horrified. They feel like an immovable fear. And then often I think when I have these discussions with people is I ask a few people whether or not like, oh, how many states do you think have banned trans healthcare for kids or have tried to? And they'll say, oh, I don't know, like 30. And there's like 2, and one of them failed. So it's like, and I think giving people that impression and giving people that like, doom and
True.
gloom, because genocide is very doom and gloom. Like,
Yes.
Oh, we should just it's just a vibe genocide.
True
We should just
vibe.
ignore it.
It's not a genocide if nothing's happened.
We talked about that.
Nothing's
Let's
happened.
bring it back up again.
Okay, nothing's happened. Nothing to see here.
Magnus Hirschfeld's entire life was persecuted by the entire end of his life.
Wait, 1930 what?
Long before when
Sorry?
Loaderbox here, Mr.
states do you think have banned
When did he flee?
And they'll say,
Again?
oh, I don't know, like 30. And there's like 2, and one of them
I have
failed.
to
So
listen.
it's like, and I think giving people that impression and giving people that like, doom and
True.
gloom, because genocide is very doom and gloom. Like,
Yes.
Oh, we should just it's just
Demon Mama is referring to Lonerbug saying the genocide started in the 40s. Sondsol doesn't even know what he's replying to. Yeah, exactly, because the Nazis were operating in Germany. First, before they acquired the state apparatus, they didn't just come out of nowhere. Yeah, exactly. Plus, the Holocaust started on January 1933. Okay? Like, I really recommend you to watch the video that I've made on this topic. Do not be indifferent, okay? I will link it in here for you to watch later, because this is like really, like the video might not seem as exciting, okay? But I think this is like one of the most important videos that I have made. The do not be indifferent video. Let me find it, okay? Like, this is literally one of the most important videos that I have made. I will find it for you and I will link it in the chat, okay? Like, do not be indifferent. Copy link. Boom. The Auschwitz-Birkenau survivor who speaks how our treatment of minorities, if minorities get persecuted, it damages the fabric of democracy, and that it leads to a new Auschwitz-Birkenau, and that Auschwitz-Birkenau did not just fall from the sky. Like, you should watch this later. This is like I think this is one of the more important videos that I've made.
it's just a vibe genocide. You know, we should just ignore it.
It's not a genocide if nothing's happened.
We talked about that.
Nothing's happened.
Yeah,
Magnus
sure.
Hirschfeld fled Germany in 1933, and then he died in France in 1935. Magnus Hirschfeld's entire
He fled in 1933, okay? Do you know who also fled in 1933? Albert Einstein, because those people could see the writing on the wall. They saw the rampant anti-Semitism in Nazi Germany. So yeah, of course they fled, because they were not idiots like Sondsol here.
life
Yeah.
was persecuted by the entire end of his life. He was persecuted by the Nazis long before when Loaderbox here, Mr. fucking Chuckbox.
People run from the persecution.
In 1932.
Freddie free! Are you deaf? She said Freddie free.
Then that was when the Nazis took power. Or the year before they took power.
Yeah, that is where the Holocaust
So how was he
began.
persecuted by the Nazis before they took power?
Because they campaigned a lot before they took power, and they used a lot of anti-Semitic rhetoric in their campaigning.
The entire end of his life? I'm sorry. Just
Thinks that was when it was an actual genocide. Don't ruin brunch. Don't ruin brunch, anybody.
I think that can
Brunch.
actually debilitate people as
So
well.
you're just
The
telling
one
me, like,
fucking
like,
thing they
for
have.
motivation. So, no, but you could say, but you were talking as if you're like the genocide thing is like me refusing to listen to trans voices and all that. But I can fucking take, I can fucking pull forward like quite a few trans people who don't like the word genocide either. So it's not like
It doesn't matter if they like it. Trans people can also be in denial. There's a lot of trans people who don't recognize how bad things are.
So there we go.
Yeah.
If they don't agree with Demon Mama, then they're just in denial about their own genocide. If they don't feel as persecuted as Demon Mama does,
You can be in denial, yeah.
It couldn't possibly be the fact that you're wrong. There's never a consideration that they could be fucking wrong. Just, you know, if you don't agree with me, you're in fucking denial.
That's the
You're one of the bad
argument, yeah.
transes.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure is the argument.
Who fucking cares?
You know, if
Okay.
you're not a monolith, I'm sure you wouldn't say that.
Okay, all right. So I think I take issue with your two-state.
Oh, yeah, that's the argument.
I mean, there's many laws that are I don't have the website up, but like there's many laws that exist right now that have been passed in many.
That's definitely the argument.
Specifically about banning, about restricting healthcare for kids, right? 2 states succeeded, I think, and one of them got overturned.
That fact does not align with my view. He's just being confused loudly. This was decades long in the process. It doesn't just happen overnight. Exactly. And this is exactly why I would encourage you to watch the video that I've linked, okay? This is exactly what the whole speech of the Auschwitz-Birkenau survivor is about.
No. 2 states.
That Auschwitz did not fall from the sky.
Them were overturned on the federal level. Thank goodness.
Do not be indifferent.
Not just for minors.
It's very important.
Texas did not succeed. They passed the bill and then it got struck down in our own courts, I believe. The other one got struck down at the federal level.
As far as I know, unless it's something more recent.
I'd have to look at the most recent stuff. It's so okay, yes. The trans people are not a monolith, but I will tell you this. You know, and of course there's many trans people that will not that don't want to like call it a genocide, and that's their right, you know, because it can be debilitating when you sort
Arkansas.
of look at what's going on.
Arkansas was
You know,
the
like we
first
still
one
have to live our lives, but
Arkansas.
somebody like you,
My
you
home
don't-
state,
you don't
F.
have the you're not going to be frozen in fear if you really kind of like use the you know, in my judgment would be the most correct words to describe what's going on in a way that people will hear and be like, oh, maybe I should look at this because
No, Internet Gas, you missed the thing at the beginning where she literally had no fucking clue anything about the Nazis. Like, she didn't
What do
know-
you
it seems
mean?
like she didn't even know like when they came to power. It seems like she didn't know anything about
Oh
anything.
my gosh. We've already talked about this. We've talked about this at length. Sondsol is incorrect here. He's not being very smart. He did not understand the point at all.
Thing relating to Nazi Germany. Like, she was talking about like the persecution that the Nazis were giving of the Jews in 1919,
No,
or gay people and Jews in 1919.
No,
Meanwhile,
she
the Nazi
wasn't.
Party
No,
wasn't even
she
founded until
wasn't.
1920.
What? She wasn't talking about the Nazis, you
Yeah,
idiot.
I'm from Arkansas originally. Grew up in very small towns around the southern,
No.
part.
I'm not wrong in the way I describe it.
But now I
I
live in
think
Texas.
that proves out when I you know, it's not we're not just arguing about a word. It seems like we're arguing about what these anti-trans laws are really about and what they are intended to do. It seems like you're unwilling to accept that
Unbelievable liberal naivety. And it's not naivety. It's just liberalism is fascism is like liberalism's biggest weakness. Liberalism paves the way for fascism to succeed. It's just the way it operates. An obsession with the law and inability to react in real time to real threats because those threats veil themselves under the veneer of legality until it's too late.
the laws are being passed because they are dehumanizing us and demonizing us in a way that that is necessary and sufficient to create genocidal intent in a population.
Wait,
So you're
to create the intent? So we're not even at the intent level yet? They're just trying to create the intent to genocide the trans people?
I don't even... Is this person doing this on
I fucking
purpose?
can't, dude. This shit's
I know you can.
what the fuck?
I
It's a
know you
genocide
can.
When people are trying to create intent.
Like, your brain is clearly turned off. And I don't know what's going on with you. Not shocking that Sondsol is a product of Arkansas public education. No, I think he's a product of DGG, to be honest.
to do a genocide.
saying it's not over a word, but
I think he's just a product of DGG.
It is just a word.
You don't think they're trying to kill trans people? You told me that. You don't, yeah, okay.
Wait, can you tell me which legislator is trying to kill trans people? Are there specific ones?
Wait a second.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell,
Oops.
Ron DeSantis.
Are you
Show
telling
us
me that's
where.
the only way I can prove to you that there's a genocide?
What do you mean, show us where?
Debate is
So
coming
the
soon.
legislature Says, oh, I don't want to kill trans people and it beats red. And then you'd be like, oh, because you found one legislator and you proved beyond reasonable doubt that person has genocidal intent.
Ken Paxton. Greg Abbott.
Will you then agree it's a genocide? No, you wouldn't even do it then. You'd be like, well, that's just one.
Well, I can say with, for example,
There's no way to prove to you.
Well, suddenly Sondsol gets quiet.
So there's like these kind of discussions that they'll ask, like when it comes to
Demon Mama starts actually listing kings. Sondsol gets quiet. Then I'm gonna go already. I'll try to come back for a longer time later. Thank you, Ginger Snaps back. Thank you so much. Thank you for dropping by. We love you. Ginger snaps back. It's true.
Studying like in law, like genocide, they'll say, can we see genocidal intent in Hitler before 1941? And some people will say yes, because he's talking about removal by any means, even though there's no sign that he wants to kill people. Say, well, if you want to remove millions and millions of people, how
Some
else are you
people
gonna
would
do that?
say there was no
But that's what
genocidal
they say.
intent after
That's how-
1945. Like
that's how you
it
would say
doesn't
it.
matter.
That's how you would say. That's how you would say there.
How could there be genocidal intent after 1945? Because Nazi Germany lost the war in 1945. It's hard to fucking intend to do fucking shit when you're all.
Okay, now I know I've said it too much today, but you're an idiot. I will translate. I will say this very slowly so that you understand, okay? Some people, even after 1945, after the Nazis have lost, some people still said that there has not been a genocide intent. Now do you understand? Nobody is saying that the Nazis did not have the intent after 45. Like, I don't know what to say to this third level of commentary. Like, I don't know what to say.
Dead!
Is this the level of commentary that you're operating on? Really?
These people are retarded!
There was one genocide.
Projection?
I would say there was. I would say you can say what?
Of course.
What's
What did I say?
going
What did I
on?
say?
Okay, so what I think you said is that Hitler had genocidal intent before. Wait, when would you say when would you say the genocide of the Jews actually happened?
I have a
Just
pass.
for
I'm
starters.
No,
neurodivergent.
wait, that's not the question. Is whether or not the intent.
He already
When the
answered
intent
this.
showed.
Wait,
right?
wait, just to be clear, he already answered this. He said that he believes the genocide began in 1941, according to his previous statement. Maybe he can retract that, but he didn't.
That's
I'm
where
interested in
the.
your answer to my question.
Well, the signs of the intent were there from like 1919 when Hitler wrote
Yeah,
about removal.
yeah, but when would you
End of the
say?
war.
When would you say, according to you? When
Are
would you say the genocide
gotcha
happened?
to say when the genocide started?
No, well, I want to know your answer. It's not gotcha. I just want
Okay,
you
if I say
to.
anything later, no, you are. Don't lie to me.
Okay,
if
well-
I say anything later than 1933 when the Nazis got elected, you've got a dunk, right? That's the kind of level we're operating at right now.
Are you unwilling to answer the question?
My man, dude, don't even try. Don't even try to high horse. You did the whole fucking. I'm
Oh, I
gonna
can buy
TOSA
elixirs here.
for no reason earlier on, and now you're trying to act smug when she asked you a very direct question because you think that you got gotcha because your argument is fucking stupid.
No,
Man,
it's
what's your
not
problem, dude? This is
stupid.
so
It's just
sloppy.
like a fucking.
No, I'm not willing. I think the genocide started in 1941. Final solution implemented in order in 1941.
Yeah, thank you, Yasmin, for the $5. Yasmin says, "Are you trying to give me a gotcha like me trying to gotcha you with Fed posting? How dare you, you uppity trans girl?"
Okay, so
Because the accusation of the Fed posting is predicated on the fact that she said the things that would lead him to believe that she believed in violent approaches because she was trying to get him with gotchas on what would you say to the Jews who were being genocided by the Nazis. That was her gotcha. And then he said, okay, well, if there's a genocide going on right now, what would you say to trans people who are being genocided? Yeah, no fucking shit, dude. That was a direct response to what she's saying. Now she's just trying to say, like, oh, well, you don't even believe they had genocidal intent. Oh, do you think that the Nazis were nice to Jews before they started the final solution? Obviously fucking not. So hers is a gotcha. His was a direct response to, like, her worldview.
What?
So if you were
And Lonerbox really fucked this one up. Lonerbox had a debate with this content creator I wasn't familiar with before named Poly People, and whether or not there's a trans genocide.
Oh, shut up.
And his position is embarrassingly bad. And yeah, he says not, and there isn't any intent either.
There's no proof of any intent whatsoever.
And his what's worse, I wouldn't say it's worse in his argument because his argument is pretty bad. But what's worse is the way that he's approached the conversation, which is to be a giant cunt to somebody who's been nothing but respectful for him, like literally no dunking on her side whatsoever.
Are you
and he was
kidding?
just like, oh well, you know,
No.
you're saying there's a genocide
Jesus.
going on right now. Well,
Jesus.
I don't know about you,
Jesus.
but I would supported the Jews assassinating Hitler. So what are you saying? You saying that you want them to assassinate the president? Is that what you want? Literally doing that type of shit. Like, oh, don't you think that?
I'm
shouldn't you say
barely
that you're willing to
surviving
support
here.
the
Holy
assassination of
shit.
Public figures, and she's like, no. What are you talking about? First of all, why are you trying to like TOS me? And secondly, no, I don't believe in that. I want to flee. I want to go somewhere safe. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And now he's getting super mad that she said, so when do you think that the genocide against the Jews started? He's like, oh, you're trying to get me
No,
a
that's
gotcha.
not what she
You're trying to get
asked.
me a gotcha. Like,
That's not what
bro,
she
the fuck?
asked.
That's weird.
He already said when
Oh, we gotta
the
finish this.
genocide
I've been
started.
way too long. I know.
Damn, I took a nap
But-
and you're still
I
going.
know. I've been bad. I've been very bad. I've been very bad. I'm so bad. Mama bad. Mama bad. Mama bad. You're not even in the camera. You're too far away.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, I'll come down soon. Okay, I promise. And then we'll smoke that weed. Okay, because I really need that after this shit.
this sort of goes back to our earlier point, right? If you were on the ground in in 1940, you
actually
would
have a giant
argue
blunt tonight,
that
no
there
balls.
wasn't a genocide of the Jews going on, even though like Hitler had already invaded Poland.
Wait, hold on a second. This is really funny. Somebody in Poly People's chat says the final solution was not the start of the genocide. That's
Uh-oh. Someone just DM'd me screen caps of,
Of what?
of Polly's chat.
Okay. Can you not edit these parts out of the video?
And it was that person that was just in chat being so nice, the Shakespeare person. Not getting ready. No, they were just talking shit about me. I'm sure that they do talk about Lunar Box very, very disparagingly, but you know.
Shakespeare like
Such a good, that's such an
dwarves
excellent
you when
point.
it comes to
Nazis literally called it the final
education
solution,
and
implying
knowledge
they had
about
tried
things.
other
Like
solutions
Shakespeare
before.
like dwarfs
Oh
you,
god, oh liberals are so lost.
There were
literally.
Liberals are so lost.
there was already like well, I guess there wasn't the there was already
I
laws
don't know why
being
you
passed trying to
you would
eliminate.
just say you would say it was set in motion. Like the conditions were laid for it. They were.
There was law.
passed,
No, but like there
because
were
that's
already Jews
downplaying it.
dying.
If you were to say if this was a conversation only about the Holocaust, all of this would be considered genocide denial because it is because it's downplaying the very real threat. We only have this in high.
You know, it kind of sucks that when, because like I like to grow the community and I like to like give my take, and I think that like the way that I engage with people is pretty reasonable. I think.
No, what?
And so like when someone like comes in
Are you
chat, it's their
kidding?
first time in chat and they're you know, they're engaging nicely. If I see them like immediately go to another
You're
chat,
being-
that's pretty fucking depressing. Because I like it when I get to see the same names in chat over and over and over, right? Like I've said this before, but like Nair Socks, he's gonna come in and he's gonna fucking meme, and I know that like half of the shit that he says don't take like super seriously. Same thing with
You're being
like,
reasonable.
Neon, right? Internet Gas is going to link some stuff about international relations and you know international news. I can look at any chatter that's here regularly, and I know like essentially who they are as they relate to my chat, right? Or how they engage with me. And then when I see like someone, I was like, oh, okay, well, you just like subbed to me. Like, it looks like you might be someone that might be a returning viewer or some shit like that. To see them like immediately in someone else's chat as like some sort of like weird op to try and get me to give my take in a way that makes me look as bad as
What?
possible to other communities. That fucking sucks, dude.
What
If
did,
only Sondsol knew what I say about him in
what
relic.
are you talking
Yeah, but
about?
John, I know that you're an A-logger, so.
Insight because the Holocaust already happened. The only reason he can get away with any of this is because when you're talking about
I'm just listing off names off the top of my head. I'm not like, I said Nair Soxuzi was there, but Saphiric Neon's not in chat.
What?
the Holocaust, it already happened. This one is ongoing. If we were to pretend that it was 1939 and the formal Holocaust had not begun, and this argument happened, and he was making the same arguments, and we were to look at that, we would say that's genocide denial.
No.
Yes.
Because there were Jews
Hello,
at the time.
Black
It just wasn't done in a way that you would specifically
Welcome to
call
chat.
a genocide.
Yes,
That's because
why
genocide
the
wasn't a
definition
word
of
back then.
genocide. Yeah, if people died because
Jesus,
of
dude.
Actually, we have many definitions of genocide to
No.
the degree that the
No, we
UN
don't.
has more than one.
Yes, we do, you idiot.
I've already looked at this during my stream. You guys all know this, but yeah, just be.
You looked at 2 different articles, both of which gave the exact same definition of genocide. What are you talking about, dude? Like, I don't understand. Like both of the definitions were the same.
Nice calling her, dude.
people die because of systemic
Nice.
discrimination. That's not genocide. No.
How is
Yes,
that not
it is.
genocide? If people die as a result of
Yes,
systemic
it is.
discrimination,
That's
like,
the definition of genocide. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. This is
wait,
pathetic.
wait,
Were
wait,
black
wait,
people
wait, wait,
genocided in the
wait,
United
wait.
States?
Wait,
Yes.
sorry, I just want to do a debunk. I'm feeling a little paranoid here because I know people are going to react to this, and I want to just prove to you what I'm talking about. I just had this up. Hold on, let me just show you
2
again,
different
one more time, just so it's
articles,
clear.
both saying the
I'm gonna
same
show this up
thing.
right here. What he just said was that a law that legal discrimination that leads to death is not genocide. I'm sorry, but the UN literally disagrees with you. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part.
He thinks someone in his chat is trying to get him to say something bad or present his argument in a way that he be used against him based on their existence in another chat. Even an article on genocide acknowledges there is more than one definition. Well, yeah, of course there is. Like, what the hell? Like, Sondsol knows nothing about anything. And Shakespeare is like when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to known things, like Shakespeare leaves Sondsol in the dust, literally.
This is Article
Like I've
Listen
had
to what you just said.
I had just one conversation with Shakespeare, and I can already say that they know like 1 billion times more than Sondsol.
disagrees with you. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of
She said legal
was,
discrimination
yeah.
doesn't mean genocide. Huh. Well, let me read you this definition that does not at all say what I just said.
life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. This is Article 2 of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. Going slower, Article 2 of the Genocide Convention narrows it, also including deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, causing serious.
See, look. Oh, the Shakespeare person. Still, I opened it up in fucking Chatterino because of that. I said I don't know for sure.
Serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. Lonerbox is wrong. Lonerbox is wrong even by his own definition.
No,
This is phenomenally stupid.
Yep.
The definition doesn't
Right now,
even
when you say
agree with you.
genocide, You don't actually mean a term that can be defined and boundaries can be set in
Dude,
statute.
shut
You
the
just
fuck
want
up, man. Man, shut the fuck up. What an asshole. This dude is being such a fucking dick.
Wait, what did he
This
say?
Serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. Lonerbox is wrong. Lonerbox is wrong even by his own definition. This is phenomenally stupid.
admit me right now then that when you say genocide, you don't actually mean a term that can be defined and boundaries can be set in
Dude,
statute.
shut
You
the
just
fuck
want
up, man. Man, shut the fuck up. What an asshole.
Shut the fuck up.
This dude is
You
being
don't
such a
agree
fucking
with
dick.
me.
This Polly people
Go to
has
hell.
not been rude or dunked on him even in a little bit. He's being a smug, sarcastic piece of shit. When this girl over here is pouring out her heart about her genuine concerns of genocide, she's not making personal attacks against him. She's just trying to convince him that yes,
She
we should
has
be willing
made
to call it
personal
what it
attacks
is, and
against
he's
him,
being a
saying
smug
that he doesn't know
No.
anything about trans people.
use it as because like, as a rhetorical.
That's not a person. What?
No, hold on a second, because
That's not a personal attack, you idiot. What do you mean?
so like I'm
How
surprised.
is that a personal attack?
Hey, I'm going to be wrong here,
What?
but I would be surprised if it is a commonly accepted point of view that the German genocide of the Jews didn't start until 1941.
True.
That seems
He reiterated that twice. It's an idiotic position.
literally impossible to me.
It is.
According to what, like legal
It's
definitions, or
incorrect.
just like using the words kind of like, I don't know.
The way people use the
It's
word
incorrect.
the way people
common
use the
parlance.
word genocide to describe genocide. Like
Yeah,
if you want to
common parlance, yes. Okay, wait,
if you want to communicate with people what's going on, do you think
The way the word people use the word genocide, the way the people use the word genocide to describe genocide. What is that? Okay.
that the average oh my god.
Okay, hold on. I just want to blow him out again one more time, just so we're clear. The UN Convention on Genocide
Yeah.
was not even put into
Yeah.
law until December. 9th,
Shakespeare is like
1948.
super
The word
well.
wasn't
Let's
invented
just
until
rewind
then.
here. I just want you guys.
Shakespeare is super well informed. I want to do tons of things with Shakespeare. Like it's like a real, like amazing. With Shakespeare. I want to do like a lot of projects together. You know, amazing person. We had a great talk. We had a really good talk. That's such a conservative snowflake definition of a personal attack. Yeah, I know. I know, right? I actually uploaded a segment on when the Ben Shapiro segment is the talk with Shakespeare.
To hear how fucking right I am,
It's
how
really
fucking
good.
people is on this. Listen to this real quick. Let's listen to this back.
Jews
Listen up.
didn't start until 1941? That seems literally impossible to me.
According to what, like legal definitions, or
According to what legal definitions? Guess what, bitch? The legal definition until December 9th, 1948. Let's just rewind here. I just want you guys to hear how fucking right I am and how fucking right Polly people is on this. Listen to this real quick. Let's just listen to this back.
Jews
Listen up.
didn't start until 1941. That seems literally impossible to me.
according to what, like legal definitions, or
According to what legal definitions? Guess what, bitch? The legal definition you're using, the Holocaust at the time could not be considered a genocide because the UN fucking assembly on genocide did not happen until December 9th, 1948. What are you talking about? What a stupid argument. Literally, legal brain, so stupid. This is fucking, I'm so disappointed with this. Oh, God.
What do you mean legal brain? You're literally using the words of a legal fucking document to fucking say that he's wrong. What do you mean legal brain?
I hope this is just a one-off. I hope he eats crow on this and says, wow, I really fucked this up.
Oof, once again, the point flew way over his head.
using the word kind of like, I don't know.
The way people use the word genocide to describe genocide. Like,
Yeah,
if you want to,
common parlance,
okay,
yes.
but if you want to communicate with people, what's going on? Okay, do you think that the average? Oh my God. Okay, so when you
You want to go one further? You want to go one further? You ready to go one step further?
I am ready.
Genocide is the intentional destruction of a people, usually classed as ethnic, national, racial, or religious, in whole or in part. Raphael Lemkin coined the term in 1944. The term genocide did not even exist at the time that he's talking about.
Okay.
So all of this stupid semantic nonsense is a bunch of fucking hot air.
I can't wait for a reading list from Shakespeare. I would like a reading list from Sondsol to where he gets his points, but I read most Dr. Seuss's books. Oh, don't be mean to Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is like a classic, okay? Dr. Seuss is like a really classic writer. We should respect classic children's writers, okay? Like, even if they had... Like, Dr. Seuss had some, bigoted misses, but he also had some good stuff, okay? Dr. Seuss is considered a classic. So let's not be mean. So yeah, true. Where would we be now with such classic as one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish? True. Wah, wah, wah.
That doesn't change his argument whatsoever.
The definition didn't even exist, so it wouldn't fucking matter if you called it a genocide or not. The terms, the legal terms, didn't exist at the time. Lonerbox's argument is so upside down in this conversation. It's so ass backwards.
True.
Just, oh my god, man.
You're getting very flustered over absolutely nothing here, by the way. But
Dude, shut the fuck up. What a dumb
Get
cunt. Dude,
angry,
shut the fuck
Demon
up.
Mama. You get angry.
You're fucking smugly
Get
condescending
mad.
to this girl who's been nothing but nice to you this entire fucking time, who's actually talking about an issue that affects her, and your stupid smug ass is not only dead goddamn wrong. Lonerbox is not only dead.
It fucking affects him too. His girlfriend is trans. You've used an amalgamation of U.S. and British law to say that there is a genocide in the United States against trans people. If anyone has a fucking, hat in this race, it's fucking him too.
What? No?
Goddamn wrong. He's being a fucking stupid smug prick about it. Dude, absolutely what the fuck, man.
Absolutely, what the fuck?
You want flustered? How's this for fucking flustered? How's this for fucking flustered? You want to come talk to me? Let's talk about it, buddy. I'll be a whole lot meaner. You want the spice? You want the fire?
I would love to talk to Demon Mama about this, but she'll never, ever, ever, ever talk to me.
Who would want to talk to you? It's a waste of time. President Sunday have proved this.
I don't know if there's much more for us to talk about. I mean, I think I understand what you're saying.
It's a waste of time to talk to you.
If there was something I had in my back pocket. Anybody want to guess when the first concentration camp for Jewish people, communists, and other dissidents opened? Anybody want to guess? Can we get a guess?
41?
22nd of March, 1933. But guess what? According to Lonerbox, the genocide didn't start until 1940.
Hold on.
Yep.
Concentration camp.
You have zero.
Concentration camp. Concentration camp. Concentration camp. Those are bad. They are nearly synonymous with genocide.
What are you talking
But
about?
were they exterminating any Jews in 1933? No, they were not.
The Holocaust started in 1933. You're out of your depth, literally.
People have called the camps at the border where they were separating families. They've called
Yeah.
those concentration camps. Was
Yeah.
that genocide?
You could argue.
Yeah, Shadowrun. Was the concentration camps that we had for the Japanese genocide?
Yeah.
Concentration camps are always bad, but they're not always genocide.
41. What a moron.
What a moron!
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I apologize. I've literally never heard that word said out loud, I don't think, or at least I have it in my memory. Dachau? Dachau? Dachau, whatever. First concentration camp
I can't do
opened
any more
on
of this. All right. We're
I know
we're
you
busy.
can't. I know you can't.
Let's send you guys to Stardust. All right. I love you guys very much. This has been a
another the orbiter of the destiny. Was it from 1941? He just admitted he didn't know what he was talking about. I mean, not the first time, okay? Not the first time. Not the first time.